A very pleasant good evening to you from Mesa High School on the campus of the Mesa Jackrabbits for Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Derryberry alongside my broadcast partner. Now in his sixth campaign with the Mountain Lions, James Poovey joins me. And we've got a good one for you. This used to be an East Valley Region contest. Now it's just a 6A non-conference opponent. It's Red Mountain and the Mesa Jackrabbits. This is the 31st meeting between these two schools, James. And in the last 5 years, it's been all Red Mountain in this rivalry.
Red Mountain has definitely been dominant. Great to be with you here this evening, Kevin. It's always fun to come over here to Mesa High School, just across town, if you will, from Red Mountain. And they've redone things here. The lights are brand new. They got a brand new football field. And it's going to be a fun night out here.
Yeah, new digs, right? I mean, it's a classic situation. In the East Valley, all the Mesa schools are falling under that umbrella of getting new synthetic turf fields, and it's a gorgeous facility now. I'm still a traditionalist. I enjoy and appreciate the natural turf and the natural grass and all the great things that it presents, but with costs and things going crazy, when the dollars, and at the end of the day, when they say it's not about the money. We know, James, the first thing is it's truly about the money. And so $1.2 million later, they've got this facility in place. It is absolutely spectacular. Red Mountain, they were too privileged to have the same field put in this offseason. And it's going to happen. It's going to continue all throughout the Mesa School District. So kudos to the administration that put this on and allowed this Mesa School District. And it's such a crazy economic time to gain access to these and have them put in and to be able to utilize them here their first year.
Well, it's a magnificent field. We got a chance to walk on the one at Red Mountain last week in the home opener, and it's it's well done, and it's really about that long-term dollar. They have to forecast that out, the maintenance costs over time, and it really works out in the long run for the district to have artificial surfaces. But I'm with you on the old school, grass surface, and that's where I grew up playing football anyway.
Captains out to the center of the field here for the Red Mountain Mountain Lions. Skylar Edmonds is out there along with Tyler Brown, Parker McClure, and there's been a fourth captain each and every week, and we'll get you that fourth captain here momentarily. But for the Mesa Jackrabbits, their captains as well at the center of the field here. Cy Schmaltz is one of their captains. He's their starting quarterback. You got Two's Wild right here. Next to him is number 22. He's a captain. That's Andrew James. And to his right is the big fella, number 77. That is Caden Cisneros. He's a talented player. And then their dude, as they say, Trey Brown, also a captain out there for the Jackrabbits. Over that emblazoned logo here at the 50-yard line. Boy, that the Mesa purple and that Mesa gold really pops here tonight, James.
It looks gorgeous, Kev, and you think to yourself, wow, purple against that green and the alternating green of the field, but it really has a nice pop to it with that purple and yellow in the center of the logo, and then in the end zones looks really nice too. But it's going to be a gorgeous night out here, and this should be a really good football game as well.
Charles Ritchie is your fourth and final captain here tonight for ACU. Couple of milestones that we're looking for this evening. For Parker McClure, he needs 4 tackles to reach 200 in his career, and we'd like to congratulate Skylar Evans. He went over the century mark in tackles in just 2 seasons. He has 103 tackles now for number 27. That's why he's a captain. That's why Parker McClure is a captain. 3-year starters with Tyler Brown. It's a great group and tremendous leadership on and off the field for our captains.
Those are 2 of the best linebackers in the state of Arizona, possibly 2 of the best linebackers in the nation, Kev. They've played together for a long time. You can't teach that cohesiveness and that the ability to have that nonverbal communication out on the football field, and these guys are all-stars. You mentioned the tackling prowess, and they can cover in space. They're excellent in run support, and they're sure tacklers. When they're in open space, 9 times out of 10 they're going to bring that ball carrier down.
Yeah, they are sure tacklers, to say the least. So we are moments away from kickoff. The Mesa Jackrabbits will receive the football to begin the game, and that means Mike Peterson's Mountain Lions and Josh Barnes will get to call plays for the offense to begin the second half. They put 12 minutes up on the Longines scoreboard, and we are ready to commence tonight's 6A conference football game here. A long-time rivalry here between the Mesa Jackrabbits and the Red Mountain Mountain Lions. Back deep for Mesa is Edward Williams. He gets it here from his own 5 to the 10, 15, and he'll fall down at the 20-yard line. And good thing that he did, because Michael Mallory was there on the special teams hunt, and the Turf Monster begins this game as the youngster lost his footing there. Edward Williams, we'll see a lot of him at wide receiver tonight. He'll also play some cornerback, but that is where the Mesa Jackrabbits and their head coach, Chad DeGrenier, will go to work. Coach DeGrenier now in his 5th year on campus for the Mesa High Jackrabbits. 3-5 a year ago, 2-2 in the 6A East Valley region. And their quarterback calling plays tonight, number 2, Cy Schmaltz. And right away for me, James, I think of a youngster named Cy, and that is just incredible to have that kind of a name, knowing what the name Cy means in the baseball realm of things. They run a sweep to the far side with speed to the edge, and a nice gainer here to start the contest for the Mesa Jackrabbits. In fact, that looked like Felipe Kizda. We'll get that here in a second. Ryan Grosscloss came up with the tackle, the safety position that was occupied by George Ramirez for 4 years for Red Mountain. You see Mr. Grosscloss up there making a nice play, and I expect big things from him filling in for Georgie. It's his job now, and what an opportunity for him.
And he's done well in that role so far. He had a great game last week at home in the home opener, and he continues to produce here tonight early in the ball game.
Gain of 9 for Kiesta Felipe. They put the ball in the hands of the tailback, and running left and weaving away from Red Mountain defenders was the Jackrabbits. Of course, the name game here is going to give us fits right away. It looked like tailback Craig Montgomery. He's their bell cow, wearing number 39, all-region performer. 19 games played for that young man. He is playing game number 20 in his career here tonight, James.
Now, Kev, I want you to get one more look at him through the Bushnells right there, if you will, and tell me if you think the 5'5", 155 listed on the roster is anywhere near accurate.
Yeah, he looks like he's closer to about 180 pounds. But either way, he is their guy. They run left again, and then there's not a lot of room this time. Running into that front four of the Red Mountain Mountain Lions. Jaden Hurst, the J-Man right there, number 77, and Parker McClure right there to make the tackle. Parker McClure now 3 tackles away from 200 in his career.
Outstanding performance once again tonight from Parker McClure on his way to that 200 tackle mark. But a great job as well there by 77 Jaden Hurst. Great job using his hands, getting off the block, shedding the block at the line of scrimmage, and then securing the ball carrier, wrapping him up, and driving those feet.
Our first infraction of the night here gives us an opportunity to introduce to you our AIA officiating crew. Our referee this evening is Frank Vadetic. Vadetic is the referee. The head linesman is Jared Garduno. Our umpire this evening is Chuck Bradley. The line judge will be Patrick Fisher, and the back judge is Jonathan Kemp. Our AIA officiating crew here for tonight's 6A non-conference matchup. Schmaltz back to the run game. It's Montgomery running right this time, and there's Skylar Edmonds and friends right there to bottle him up. And right next to him is Parker McClure. Now 2 tackles away from 200 in his career. For number 30, he has been one of the better linebackers we've seen. We've seen some great ones over the years. Delton Jackson comes to mind, and there's a whole bunch of other guys, but Parker McClure has been special. Absolutely special.
A 4-year starter, if I'm not mistaken, Kevin. I believe he started a little bit in his freshman year. Maybe it was his sophomore year, but productive every single game. A very heady player, and he knows the linebacker position very well.
Schmaltz, the signal caller. So it looks like Manny Pino is taking some snaps. And for the Jackrabbits, getting loose for Mesa this time was Edward Williams. And Parker McClure to hustle him down out of that Mike backer spot for tackle number 199 on his career, and that was outstanding. How about the hustle for number 30, Parker McClure?
Well, number 9, Edward Williams, fast, 5'9", 155, but he's got some wheels, and McClure just came out of nowhere, chased him down, and made the stop, 1 away from 200.
Gain of 17 yards. They go back to Montgomery, and he gets drilled in the backfield. A nice run blitz there for Red Mountain. Skylar Edmonds was the first guy there, and Tom DeMassa also there. Tommy D right there coming off a 6-tackle game last week. Great defense there, and an excellent call there by Coach Enders on that run blitz right there. You talk about making a quick adjustment in the first quarter there for some run-stuffing ability. He got it done right there.
That is exactly what you want to do, exactly what Coach Enders wants to see on the defensive side of the football. Guys flying and swarming to the ball. You grab him, you hold on to him, secure the tackle, and I'll come in and help you finish him off. That's exactly what they did right there. Outstanding job of defense right there for the Lions.
Manny Pino looks to be the quarterback. Empty set. 3 wide receivers to the left. Shotgun snap. He takes it, goes right up the middle, and he'll take the ball down the 20-yard line. And that is where he will get taken out there. Trey Heath involved on that play. Parker McClure might have been there on the assist, and if it was, that is career tackle number 200 for number 30, Parker McClure. Congratulations to that young man on that career achievement. What a milestone, James.
Unbelievable job. He just continues to produce, whether he's lined up on the outside, whether he's blitzing, whether he's in an A-gap blitz, whether he's assigned to cover in the curl to flat area. Parker McClure just gets it done.
Yes, he does. 3 wide receivers to the far side of the field. Another penalty marker comes in here from the line judge. This will be procedure assessed to the Mesa Jackrabbits. Just underway here from Mesa High School on Red Mountain TV. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Poovey. We are scoreless at the 9-12 mark. And you look at this rivalry, Red Mountain has won 18 of 30 games in the history of this all-time series. That's starting to kind of pull away a little bit in that rivalry game.
Yeah, a deficit of 12 right there. That's pretty good for Red Mountain. They're looking to do the same here tonight and capitalize on that, extend that, or increase that deficit, if you will. But it should be a good game here tonight. Right now, Mesa is moving the football.
The quarterback, Manny Pino, moving guys around. Moving to the left side of the line of scrimmage now is Josh Irish, an all-region performer, and now we get a timeout taken on the field. Chad DeGrenia realized that the play clock was just about ready to expire. He'll take the quick timeout, and we will take the timeout with him. You're watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Here. Welcome back to Mesa High School. Kevin Derryberry with James Poovey. Scoreless at the 8:45 mark out of a Chad DeGrenia timeout for the Mesa Jackrabbits. Edwin Williams in motion to the left. 4 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 2 to the right for Manny Pina. Flank to his left in the pistol formation here is Craig Montgomery. 4 down linemen. Here comes Parker McClure to the line of scrimmage showing blitz. Directs some traffic with that right hand. Now he backs out. Long count for Pina. And now the Jackrabbits are going to move up front. And let's see if that's the call. But no, yes, it is. It's going to be a procedure call assessed against the Mesa Jackrabbits. So they're being a little bit deliberate, James. It's going to cost them about 5 yards here, and that's the second time. So they're going to have to get that cadence down. Otherwise, they'll continue to commit infractions here. 10 yards of penalties here on procedure calls.
They might have seen the long blonde locks of Braden Kazmarek trying to come off the edge right there. That guy was screaming around the corner there at the snap of the football just before the flag. So I think he might have been threatening that edge on the far side there.
Trey Brown to the left along with Kelton Mason. Again, it's Manny Pino at quarterback. They're stacked to the left. Pina takes the snap, runs left with some daylight, 15, and it is indeed Pino. And right there to make the tackle look like, 16 instead of 15. It's Mav Starks right there to come up and make a play. And how about the hustle coming from that safety spot right there? That was an outstanding tackle.
That was a great tackle, a great hustle play coming up, as you mentioned, from the secondary. And I tell you, I don't know if you got a chance to catch any of that game last night, Kev. I know we were busy doing a game of our own, but he would have gotten a targeting call for that one right there and gotten tossed out of the game.
Pina the holder on this 41-yard field goal attempt. The snap is down. Here comes the rush. The kick is on its way. It's end over end, and it is good. From 41 yards away for Jordan Hagan. This one just over the crossbar at the 7:58 mark of the opening quarter. Drawing first blood on the Mesa Jackrabbits. They now lead it 3-0. However, the scoreboard operator trying to give them a touchdown right there, but it is 3. What a field goal and good hold. And here that rush was coming in, so they were under duress during that field goal, and Mr. Hagan delivered.
You talk about keeping your head. He swung the leg through on that one all the way through. A beautiful kick. It had just the right amount of arc to get over the crossbar, and an excellent 3 points to start the game for Mesa.
We saw a kick like that a couple of years back in that Perry game, a game that we refer to an awful lot as time expired in regulation. Their left-footed field goal kicker hit one, and it was a nice kick. It looked like it was going to be good. It just hit the crossbar, and I remember thinking that Lady Luck had come to Red Mountain High School one more time for the Mountain Lions. They continue to defy the odds here. All right, back deep for Red Mountain will be Lennox Lawson, an all-region performer in the Fiesta region, first teamer in that kick return department, a good special teamer. And it'll be Jordan Hagan to tee it up on the far side here.
Speaking of Jordan Hagan, I just got a little knowledge drop from the Red Mountain assistant coach here that his dad, sitting right down there in front of us, Kev, is the soccer coach here at Mesa High. So how about that? Pretty cool.
Fantastic. It's nice to have that kind of skill set, soccer-style kicker with the field goal. So Hagan's going to put this one in play, and he pooches it to the near side. And the Red Mountain Lions, a little collision there, but making the fair catch for the Mountain Lions. That was Jason Vanderlyn, a cornerback, played last week, had a couple of tackles, as a lot of guys played last week. And we're going to see Carter Crispin on the field here for the first time tonight. One thing that we need to take away is just understand that Dobson has got a lot of work to do. And so Red Mountain looked really good. They certainly exploited the Mustangs last week. But how good is Red Mountain? This is going to be another barometer for them tonight here against the Mesa Jackrabbits on the road in what we would perceive as a hostile environment. But for Carter Crispin, his first road test.
Yeah, he's going to see some looks tonight that he didn't see last week from Dobson. There's going to be a little bit more blitzing coming tonight from these Mesa Jackrabbits. And as you mentioned, it'll be a true test for this Red Mountain offense.
Oh, the snap is a high one. And the Mountain Lions are going to have to cover it up. And that is Josiah being away able to recover the fumble there. So a errant snap here to begin the game for Jefferson Giles. He's the brains of the operation up front, but that one just a little bit too pumped up there. I think we were going to see Michael Mallory get the first handoff of the game, so we'll have to pause on that because Michael Mallory, 2 carries, 83 yards last week, one of them an 85-yard house call with that breakaway speed, literally running away from the defender. That's what I will remember about that run.
Yeah, he can get some space on a defender in a hurry.
Carter Crispin is out there. Lennox Lawson and Jacoby Lane. Crispin's going to run it for the first time this season, and he takes it out to the 15-yard line. Great hustle there by Carter Crispin. There was nobody home on that right side as far as any throwing lanes or anybody to get rid of the ball, and the pressure was coming. Great execution to peel away and escape to freedom there, really.
A heady play right there for Carter Crispin, and great job as well by Mesa's number 50, Sam Ball. He really forced the issue that time on defense for the Jackrabbits and forced Carter Crispin out of the pocket, forced him to make that play. But a great running play. Great job not forcing anything down the field that's not there. Take it, run it, and live to play another down.
Absolutely. Now the ball is spotted on the 14-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the far side, a single receiver to the left. Crispin back to throw. He throws, and the ball is going to be caught just past the 30-yard line. Cooper Turley there to make the catch, and how about that for CT? Right there with some great hands there from Carter Crispin on a nicely thrown ball.
He was inside, playing inside leverage that time, and the ball was thrown to the outside, so he had to go back out, get up, high point the football, and haul it in, all the while he was blanketed by the defensive back. Fantastic job that time.
But a little bit short of the first down. That'll bring up a 4th down. 4th and 10 from their own 31-yard line for the Mountain Lions. Low snap again. The punt is away. It's a low-line drive kick. It might have been partially blocked. And Trey Brown's is going to watch this one roll down the other end of the field. So the Mountain Lions get a break as Trey Brown elected not to field that one, and probably a smart move there. The roll for our punter as there is a flag down back where the ball was kicked. Punting duties this year for the Mountain Lions. It's changed around quite a bit here. I think they're going to stabilize with Carson Mauderer. Mauderer did a nice job of punting last week, and he was the guy called on here in week number 2, James. Red Mountain 1-0 after that 47-0 trouncing of the Dobson Mustangs. And it was just a long night for Makai Stuber and the Mustangs last week and Bill Gotzel.
It was a long night for Dobson, but Red Mountain had their way with the Mustangs last week, and they showed a lot of prowess. I was impressed with all 3 phases of the game, especially with Carter Crispin, his real first action as a varsity starter, and he showed a lot of poise in the pocket.
Tavion Sewing made his debut last week, part of the varsity first. He had a nice touchdown reception. Carter Crispin, he too in that varsity first category, his first 5 touchdown passes of his young career. What a performance. 14-19 for 231 and 5. Count them up, 5 touchdowns. So back to work here, drive number 2 for Manny Pino. It's not Cy Schmaltz as we anticipated. It's Manny Pino taking the snaps here, working out of the pistol, and behind him is Craig Montgomery. They run it right up the middle again, and there is not a lot of real estate there. Skylar Edmonds was there. Tom DeMassa also in on the action. And looked like number 30 was lurking as well. What a first quarter here for Parker McClure and friends. As James pointed out, maybe TD, Tristan Diamond also in on that play. So That's what you call swarming to the football, James Poovey. Everybody in on the act that time.
Great job that time by Donlin, wrapping up the ball carrier. Then as soon as you secure the tackle, Kevin, get your hand in there and rip that football out.
Trey Brown will line up to the slot to the left. Skylar Edmonds will roll out and defend him momentarily. Now there goes Brown in motion. They fake it to him, and here comes Pino. And Pino tries the right side this time. He'll pick up a couple of yards, and that's about it. Tyler K. Brown did not have a tackle last week against the Dobson Mustangs, but he has his first tackle here. Also assisting was number 10, Trey Heath.
This is a big third down right here for this Red Mountain defense. They want to get off the field, get the offense back out there, and go score.
And by the way, Trey Heath, not to be confused with Kyle Heap. Kyle Heap, the backup quarterback, saw some action last night, or last weekend, if you will. A 49-yard touchdown pass for him. 3-0 here, first quarter action from Mesa High School on Red Mountain TV. 3 wide receivers now to the left side of the field for Manny Pino. Long count for him. Low snap, he's going to run it again, and he gets drilled, and the ball is loose. The ball is fumbled. Tom DeMassa has recovered the football, and Parker McClure, perhaps the hit of his career, right there on the absolute bone-jarring, bone-crunching hit. Holy smokes, Parker McClure with a TFL and everything above, James.
Oh, my goodness, Kevin. Absolutely outstanding. All I can think of when I see that right there, I could literally hear, I could almost feel that hit up here in the booth, Kevin. You remember that Jadavion Clowney hit when he came off the edge and just planted that quarterback?
That was
That's
when he was
exactly
in college,
what it
right?
was.
That was the college
Yes.
play.
Yes.
Parker McClure, like I
man.
just described, maybe the hit of his young career.
Oh, man.
Just getting better for number 30. Turnover number 1. Let's see if the Red Mountain Lions can cash in. There goes Lennox Lawson in motion. They give him the rock. Turns the corner. It's Lennox Lawson in space, making people miss. And it's Lennox Lawson inside the 30-yard line. The speed that he has, and you talk about the footwork for Lennox Lawson, outstanding.
You know what the most amazing thing about Lennox is, Kev, honestly, is that it doesn't seem like he's ever really at full speed yet. Like he's almost got another gear that he can hit if he needs to. Unbelievable.
Gain of 26 yards for Lennox Lawson. Working right to left, wearing their white jerseys with the black helmets and the Cardinal pants. Here comes the pressure. Crispin over the middle. The ball is in and out of the hands of Lennox Lawson. Lawson running that drag route over the middle of the field, and the pressure came in. And you talk about the progression for Carter Crispin. Right read, right guy to throw to, just missed the timing right there, and the reception for Lennox Lawson.
Yeah, that ball just thrown a little bit behind L3 that time from Carter Crispin. He tried to turn around and grab it, but the speed just misjudged the timing on that one, but they'll reconnect here very shortly.
As it turns out, with the flag thrown on the play may or may not have stood up here. It's still trying to get the idea from the referee. I think it's going against Red Mountain, as the referee will pick this one up. 3-0, the Jackrabbits have the early lead on the Red Mountain Lions. 4:04 to go, and stanza number 1. So the penalty will be assessed to Red Mountain. Second time they've been penalized in this quarter. That's cost them some big yardage. Lennox Lawson will line up to the near side. In front of him is Tavion Suing. Jacoby Lane to the far side, right near the 40-yard line.
Honestly, Kevin, I still can't stand still thinking about that hit that we just saw a minute ago.
That was one of the more punishing hits.
That was unbelievable.
One of the more punishing hits I've seen ever in high school football.
That was the essence of getting underneath your pads, lowering your hips, and uncorking on a dude and hitting him right in the mouth.
That was a layout. They run it right behind the right side. That is Josiah Villanueva. Let's get you the starters up front. We'll go left to right. The left tackle is number 67, Javi Aranda Pinion. He's one of my impact players of the game. Nico O'Neill, the left guard. He'll wear 66, 5'9", 230. Jefferson Giles at the center spot. Rudy Robertson is a transfer from Apache Junction. He's at the right guard. And then Max Bray over there on the right side. Couple of yards there for Villanueva. 2nd and 18 from the 34-yard line. Shotgun snap for Crispin. He throws outside, and the ball is going to be caught. First reception of the night for Jacoby Lane. And a nice tackle there by the Jackrabbits. In on the play, and they're making some noise for the Jackrabbits, was Etwood Williams. So that will be a matchup to kind of isolate on here later in this ballgame. Number 9, Edward Williams against number 5, Jacoby Lane. Let's see how things develop in that one through 4 quarters, James.
Yeah, you can see that's going to be a fun thing to watch throughout the evening. Those two going at it. Edward Williams feeling it a little bit there on that stop of Jacoby Lane, securing that tackle. Did a great job over there, but they're going to have some more fun here shortly, I'm sure.
Single receiver to the right. That's Jacoby Lane. He goes in motion from the 31-yard line. Crispin back to pass. Looking left all the way. He'll dump it off in the flat to Villanueva at the 35, 30. Up the sideline. It'll be knocked out of bounds. In fact, he got his clock clean right around the 30, well, we'll call it the 27-yard line. And Alex Picasso came up there to right him out of bounds. He had a nice little shot on Villanueva there.
He did. He took a shot on Villanueva and made sure he was going to go out of bounds. Red Mountain got lucky on that one, Kev. It looked like Jacoby Lane was going forward towards the line of scrimmage at the snap, which is a flag every single time, but apparently the referees didn't see it. We got away with one there, but a big 4th down right here.
Gain of 5. This is indeed a 4th down situation. No Kai Evans tonight, at least yet. Crispin perhaps changing the play at the line of scrimmage. He's got 2 wide receivers to the right and 2 to the left. And now before Crispin can get the snap off, we're going to get a whistle here. We'll wait, see if perhaps the Mountain Lions took a timeout. And now they're going to call a delay of game on Carter Crispin. We continue to look for a visible play clock, but it doesn't appear that we have one. There are some lights that are in the corners of the both end zones here that appear to be what could be established clocks, but they're not. They are just not. 2:31 to go in quarter number 1. The Mesa Jackrabbits have the early lead. It's 3-0. And right now for the Jackrabbit defense, kind of giving Josh Bard some fits right now because the offense just hasn't found their rhythm yet early on in this game.
Yeah, they keep shooting themselves in the foot, drop balls, but they just got to shore that up, be a little bit more sure-handed, and execute offensively. The offensive line has got to continue firing off the football and then providing good pass protection whenever it is a pass call.
Buzzword right there, firing off the football. I quickly go back to Parker McClure on the layout in the backfield. We may be talking about that hit from now until the end of time, as long as James Poovey and I are working together. That was just ferocious.
That is a hit for the ages, Kev. That's like the Steve Atwater on Christian Okoye. That was one of those type of hits right there.
And I don't like to take people out in the parking lot, but I'm feeling good tonight after seeing that. Crispin back to throw. They set up a screen to Lane at the 30, 25, 20, and around the 15-yard line. Great play call by Josh Barge. Tremendous execution by the guys up front, and Jacoby Lane did the rest with that speed.
Little tunnel screen on right there for the Red Mountain Lions. Jacoby Lane, another one of those players that has that deceptive speed. I swear he looks like he's got another gear, maybe 2 gears that he could shift into if he needed to, and he hit the jets on that one right there.
Carter Crispin to Jacoby Lane, gain of 13 yards, 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. They run it right up the middle, and breaking tackles is the ball carrier. That is Josiah Villanueva, perhaps one of the best runs for him on this young season. He got the football, and he just darted through that hole. No dilly-dallying around, just exploited that hole and burst right through there. That was some good running.
Power football. You drive your legs as an offensive lineman, cover up your man, drive him back for 3 yards, let the back find the hole, and he's got to hit it with a burst of speed.
Nice block up front by Giles. They go back to the run game for Villanueva, and Villanueva is going to break a tackle and score a touchdown. Josiah Villanueva blowing people up at the goal line, knocking defenders backwards. People are losing hats everywhere. It might have been the Typhoon losing the hat right there. But a nice touchdown run, and you talk about some blocking up the middle. How about the holes created by Jefferson Giles? This young man has a chance to be a real good football player when his career is over with. Just a junior right now for JJ.
He's going to do nothing but get better in this offense, understand it more, get stronger in the weight room, and just continue to improve.
Here comes the Kai Evans point after try, and this one is up and it's through. He snuck it in on that right upright. 1:36 to go in quarter number 1 here from Mesa High School. Our new score, Red Mountain 7 and the Mesa Jackrabbits 3. Josiah Villanueva, the Typhoon, a wrecking ball at the goal line right there. That was another powerful one. Back-to-back runs for Villanueva where he just showed explosion, a lot of burst, and then the power to finish.
He seems like a different running back, Kev, than years past. You know, We call him the Typhoon because we're always used to him getting out on the edge, using a lot of those spin moves and using a lot of his agility and athleticism. But this year, it is just line up Josiah and run him between the tackles. I love it.
Nice drive there, good answer there, and I like the play calling there by Josh Barge as well. But that was really all set up by that 13-yard pass play on the wide receiver screen to Jacoby Lane. That was just outstanding execution.
Another great job by the offensive lineman. They've got to sell that pass in order to get those defensive linemen to bite on that. So they come up and it opens up that middle, and Lane just sprints right through the hole.
So here comes Kai Evans, and back deep to receive for the Jackrabbits will be Christopher Figueroa, an all-region second teamer a year ago, playing in his 10th game tonight for Figueroa. A two-way player. Figueroa had 9 tackles, a TFL, a sack last week on the defensive side. Short kick from Evans. And here comes the return game for the Mesa Jackrabbits. That was Trey Brown this time. No, check that. I stand corrected. That was Etwood Williams for the second time this evening. Again, great special teams work up front by the Mountain Lions.
Outstanding special teams play. Red Mountain has got a distinct advantage right here with this defense on fire now after that last defensive series with that big hit from Parker McClure. Let's see if they can continue that momentum into this drive here and shut this Mesa Jackrabbits offense down once again.
Parker McClure, I believe that was his 3rd sack too. Give him a forced fumble as well. All right, on the jet sweep, they put the ball in the hands of Etwood Williams once again. Cooper Beecher right there with his first tackle of the contest. The other Cooper Turley made a play with his hands receiving the football in the first possession of the night for the Mountain Lions. 7-3 our score, 68 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Lights taking full effect here. It's still very, very balmy here on another Arizona evening. Just the temperatures here right now, James, have just been, they've been scorching. It's 100 degrees as we talk here with less than 60 seconds to go in quarter number 1.
Nary a breeze, my friend.
A still one at that, right? Pino takes a snap, a low snap, works the near side. The ball is going to be caught and slipping a tackle initially for the Jackrabbits. First catch of the night for Joshua Irish. He, too, an all-region performer in the East Valley region. Mav Starks up there to make his second tackle of the night. That safety coming up there. It's nice to see Mav get involved early, James.
Starks is looking really good. He comes up, buzzes the feet really nicely, breaks down, gets in front of the ball carrier, wraps him up, and makes a stop.
Gain of 12 yards on that pass play. Irish's first catch of the night from Pino. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 stacked to the near side for Manny Pino. Takes a snap, they run the football, and right there to make a big-time tackle was Tom DeMassa on Craig Montgomery. Monty had no chance to do anything at all. Great defensive pressure up front as well, but it was DeMassa who was free and was able to angle in and get to the ball carrier. Outstanding tackle for a loss for Tommy DeMassa.
Did a fantastic job. He does exactly what you coach the defensive lineman to do. You want to keep your outside arm free so that whenever that ball carrier shows, you're able to at least get a hand on him and get something there to slow him down so maybe somebody can come up and help finish the job.
Quarter number 1 is ancient history. We're at 0-0 after the first 12. We'll take a quick break. We move on to the second quarter on Red Mountain TV. Welcome back to Mesa High School here in the East Valley. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Poovey on Red Mountain TV. We begin quarter number 2 here as Manny Pino will take the snaps here. Same formation just before the first quarter expired there. So Pena takes a snap. He's running to Montgomery, and he's going to get drilled in the backfield. The J-man, Jaden Hurst, all over that play. Sniffing one out. You talk about Hurst with that swim move, getting off the block there on the right tackle, ate his lunch, and then stole the lunch from the running back. Outstanding play by the J-man, Jaden Hurst. Double sevens.
That's getting your lunch taken, Kevin, and then going home with no lunch and a black eye all at the same time. Fantastic job right there by Hurst. Low man wins every single time, gets his pads lower than the offensive lineman, uses his arms and gets through the block, and then just absolutely destroys the ball carrier.
How about the depth? Quinn Roper goes off, and they bring in Brandon Kasmarek. That is just phenomenal. Third down and a long way to go here. 3rd and 12. This is going to be Pino to the 50 to the edge, and he's going to be tackled short of the line to gain. Skylar Edmonds out of that linebacker spot, hustled over there, beat his man to the spot, took his legs out, finished the play, and is going to create a situation where the Jackrabbits have to talk it over. Do they want to go for it or kick it away? But outstanding play again from 2-7, Skylar Edmonds.
Skylar Edmonds all over the football field, as he usually is on any given Friday night. And he was screaming over from the opposite side that time and running down the Jackrabbit.
So Chad DeGrenier is at least going to act like he wants to go for it. Pena trying to use the hard count. Red Mountains just staying home right there. Great discipline there by Coach Anders' defense. Now Parker McClure says, you want to go? I'm ready. He's there to blitz if necessary. Now, again, the captain of that defense applauding his team for the discipline right there, as the Mesa Jackrabbits will have to take a timeout, save the penalty, and create a kicking situation here if they choose to do so.
Now, Kev, changing the subject here for a moment just during this timeout. We've had the Baby Thumper. We've had D-Jax.
Jansen.
We've had all kinds of guys with nicknames
Anthony Giraldi
over these last 5 years. But we don't have a nickname for Parker McClure.
And I was working on that earlier this week, and we were trying to find something that just goes well with Parker, and we're still working on that, though. Because Trey the Truth Williams, it just flows, right? How about the Truth at San Jose State?
Oh, man.
Getting it done. The all-time sack leader here for Red Mountain. There's 2 nicknames that I'm going to boast was responsible for. L2 and the Truth, and those are pretty good. I can go home now.
You can't.
I mean,
you can drop the old headset.
So
now,
here we go.
Kev.
Chad DeGrenier, at least again, he's going to act like he's going to go for it. Pena under center. He takes the snap. It's a quarterback sneak, and he's going to be close to the line of the game, but I don't think he got it. The ball came out. Skylar Edmonds is on the 45-yard line going the other way with the rock. And this is going to come down to a measurement, James. I don't think he got it. And if he didn't, what a defensive stand for Red Mountain to answer the challenge here with 10:25 to go till halftime. On a 4th and 2, Chad DeGrenier rolls the dice, and the Mountain Lion defense stand on their head.
Wait till you see that play back right there. I was looking right at Parker McClure. He got off the football on Big 77, and they went mano-a-mano right there and absolutely destroyed each other in the middle. That was excellent.
He's a senior with no offers, number 30, Parker McClure.
Oh, that's going to
He
change.
has over 200 career tackles in his young career, over 3 sacks, another TFL, a blow-up tonight. And go and look at the film at the sack against Castile last year, and you will see some things in this young man. All right, we will get a measurement. That's exactly what we're looking for. I don't think he got it, James. If he did get it, it's going to be by a thread on the football, literally the nose. But I don't think he got it. We're waiting for the chain game to come on out.
Yeah, they're going slow with the measurement here for some reason. You know, there's a formidable former Arizona high school football player, Kevin, that I believe got all the way to his senior year at the Ed Doherty Awards and still didn't have a Division I college offer.
Who was that?
Brock Purdy.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, Brock Purdy literally had 7 schools to choose from, including Alabama at the very end. Iowa State where he chose.
Yeah.
But how about the Arizona quarterbacks, huh?
Oh. If there is ever a next level
he didn't get it by
linebacker,
a
it's
yard.
Parker McClure.
James, he missed it by a yard. It wasn't even that close. As the Red Mountain defense and Coach Enders will go back to work to the monitors over there and continue to make adjustments. But now Carter Crispin back on the field here. And here comes Jacoby Lane here. It's 7-3 on the strength of a touchdown run by Josiah Villanueva. His first TD of the season. It's 7-3. I just mentioned that. And I'm stoked to see what this offense can do here with the possession of the football. Jacoby Lane checks in.
I'm feeling a shot down the football field. You look now, you got number 9 out there, Etwood Williams.
Crispin back to throw. It's a slant to Jacoby Lane at the 45. At the 40, makes a move there, trying to break tacklers. He takes the ball all the way to the 35-yard line, and that's where the Jackrabbits will try to gang up on him right there. And who's the first guy down there to move guys off the pile? It's Michael Mallory. Michael Mallory is a tone setter down there, one of the bigger 5'7" guys I've ever seen. You talk about the heart, determination for Michael Mallory, but just love to see him out there pulling jerseys off the pile there, just being a tough guy down there. Love it. As the Jackrabbits, one of their Jackrabbit players slow to get up. That looks like Romarian Mackey, the free safety, appears to be maybe cramping just a little bit, and we're going to get a timeout. Injury timeout taken on the field. We'll get a look at Romarian Mackey when we return. You're watching Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Mesa High School. Romarian Mackey would walk off the field under his own power. Here comes Carter Crispin. First and 10 from the Jackrabbit 36. This is Mallory. Big hole left side. Nice little jitterbug move, and he'll take it inside the 25-yard line. How about slamming on the brakes and then darting forward again for Michael Mallory? That was just tremendous.
Stop and start. He had options out there on the outside, a little two-way go there with Cooper Turley, and Turley downfield blocking, doing a great job as well. And what can you say about Mallory? He is really doing well this season so far for Red Mountain.
Gain of 14 yards for Michael Mallory, on his way to over 100 on this young campaign. First and 10 from the Jackrabbit 22-yard line. Out of the huddle, Lennox Lawson to the far side. Jacoby Lane in the slot to the right. Crispin with a clap of the hands, looks right, wanted Lane again. He's going to scramble the outside, and he's going to pick up a yard, maybe two, based on the spot of the football. But again, Carter Crispin just taking a little bit of something out of nothing, right? And making something out of nothing is what he did right there, but he did it incrementally here.
And didn't force the issue. No one was open down the field. He had a couple choices. You could see him going through his progressions as he scrambled out of the pocket there, but wisely held onto the football and picked up positive yardage. Actually,
second and
no
10
gain on the
from the Mesa. Actually, that's interesting because it looked like he was able to take the football and at least pick up a yard, James. Clock stops at 9:27 to go to halftime. Jackrabbits show blitz to the edge. Crispin a long count. Next to him is Villanueva. Gets the handoff here on the delay. There goes Josiah as Josiah continues to just churn those legs, pick them up and put them down and take it inside the 15-yard line. Another strong run by Josiah Villanueva. And James, you pointed that out early, is that the fact that Villanueva is just running with some ferocity tonight. He is running as hard as we've ever seen him run, and he's just going downhill, and we haven't seen a lot of that. You usually see Josiah moving from side to side. We talked about showing that agility and his elusivity, but right here he's just playing power football as this penalty marker comes in.
He is indeed, and the best thing about it is you know that he can do either one for you. Mm-hmm. So maybe Coach Peterson is kind of saving that elusiveness for a little bit later or maybe later on in the season, but the power football on display right now from Josiah Villanueva. I mean, a few times in the past he would press the line of scrimmage, but nothing like he's done this season.
You mentioned Coach Peterson. In season openers, head coach Mike Peterson is 4-1. The one defeat, a 42-14 loss to number 1 Chandler. As a program, the Mountain Lions are 18-14 since 1989 in that week number 1 tilt. So they start the campaign off with some positivity as Michael Mallory hustles off the field in about 2.2 seconds. 3rd and 10 now from the 28 after the penalty yardage is marked off. Villanueva remains in the ball game here for Carter Crispin. Rolls to the far side. He had Lennox there. He throws to Jacoby Lane, and the ball is over his head. And that's, I beg your pardon, that was Cooper Turley. He had Lennox lost it open near the sticks, but I don't think Carter Crispin spotted him that time. So that'll bring up a 4th down situation here for Josh Barge. 8:53 to go, and at this point, you're in with a lack of a strong kicking game right now. We're still trying to refine that kicking game. This is a go-for-it situation here on 4th down.
I would think so. Up 7-3 here, about midway through the second quarter, and you got a very potent offense. I would definitely take a shot down the field right here, especially with the weapons that Red Mountain has. Jacoby Lane, he was getting into a little bit of fracas there with the DB from Mesa, so it's going to get chippy down there before it's all said and done.
He's got Lennox stacked behind the line. Now there goes Lennox, the action man. Crispin back to throw, and he was looking towards Jacoby Lane. Jacoby Lane, his route was designed to go to the end zone on that particular play. Saw a little bit of a move around the 15, and then you knew where he was going. He was going to the pylon, James.
Exactly right. Unfortunately, Red Mountain keeps shooting themselves in the foot here with penalties and keep backing up. So now it's going to be 4th and a long way to go here for the first. So this could change it a little bit maybe, or maybe you got a little bit more room to work with here, Kev.
James, it's so funny because we often see in the high school basketball circuit where they're always clamoring for that shot clock. Well, I like to have a visible play clock at all schools to use that. It's just a challenge when you don't have a visible play clock. Crispin back to throw. He stumbles, regains his balance. Now he's going to run it at the 30. 25, and he's going to be ridden down hard there. 2 or 3 Jackrabbit tacklers come tumbling down on Carter Crispin, and here's an opportunity for us to see the toughness of number 9 right there, Carter Crispin. We know that jersey he wears means toughness, and George Ramirez wore that thing for 4 years, but Carter Crispin showing you a little toughness on that scramble right there.
Well, Georgie definitely left a little bit of magic dust in that jersey, and Crispin is very impressive. Got out of a really bad situation right there, didn't collapse, was able to recover himself, keep his balance, and then accelerate towards positive yardage. Crispin is really impressive this season, and he just continues to battle here for this football team.
So on 4th down, it looks as though that the Mountain Lions are going to turn over the possession here. They're going to lose the football on downs. Good coverage in the secondary for the Jackrabbits to thwart that drive here. And now the entertainment comes back on the field, and our entertainment this evening has come in the way of number 30, Parker McClure.
Oh, what can you say about Parker McClure?
I'd like to say thank you to Dr. Corey Giles Family Dental Care. I'd also like to say thank you to Crazy Subs, Brock Asset Management, Lucky Lou's, Cactus Fuel, Superior Home Pros, 3G Construction, and as always, our presenting sponsor of Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV is Parker & Sons. For every touchdown scored, Parker & Sons will give $100 to Red Mountain Football. Josiah Villanueva, the beneficiary of that $100 tonight. In the name of Josiah Villanueva for Red Mountain Football. Back to work go the Jackrabbits, clad in black with their yellow numerals in their purple helmets. From the 33-yard line. That's where they put the ball in play. Check that. That looks like it's from the 39-yard line. Never look at the long Gene scoreboard and trust it, James. That's rule number 1 here. And the Mountain Lions are going to back out of a blitz, and wreaking havoc at the line of scrimmage is Parker McClure. McClure's directing traffic. He's barking out the signals, and he's making things a little bit skittish for this offensive line and their quarterback to snap the football.
Yeah, he's the mouthpiece of this Red Mountain defense. He gets the guys jacked up. He makes sure that everybody's lined up correctly, and then he's the intimidating force on the other side of the line of scrimmage against that other offense to rattle them, take them out of their game plan, and make them think, hey, number 30's coming up, and, you know, they're going to think about that one that he laid there at the 40 a little bit earlier in the ball game.
I just like that. Intimidating force. Absolutely. Get out of the way of 30. He's coming, folks, and you better put a body on him. In fact, you better put 2 on him. Pena back to work. They run it to Montgomery, and Montgomery is going to get taken out by Skylar Evans. 2-7 all over that play. These linebackers, as James pointed out at the outset of the broadcast, maybe the two best in the Fiesta region. They might be the two best in the 6A conference for all that. There are plenty of other guys out there that play very well. I know Brandon Craddock. I'm not sure if he's a DN or a linebacker, but the young man at Santa O'Connor is a dude. Brandon Craddock wears number 9, played for Coach Casey last year. He's a tremendous football player, but I like our guys every night.
Oh, man, let me tell you what. Skylar Edmonds right there. I'll talk about him a little bit more in a moment.
So Pena gets Trey Brown in motion. Brown has yet to catch a pass. They set up a screen, and the ball is batted around. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Skylar Edmonds, and he's going to take it in the end zone for a pick 6. An interception return for Skylar Edmonds. 33 yards away, a house call. Paydirt pops, touchdown, Mountain Lions.
The aggressiveness of the defense right there, forcing the incompletion, the tip ball. Skylar Edmonds, I told you I was going to talk about him in just a second.
Yeah, you did.
And there we go, right? My goodness, the guy picks one out of the sky and runs it back for Red Mountain. But the way he plays football is next level, Kevin. You see the play developing, and then all of a sudden you see Skylar Edmonds dart in and throw himself at the ball carrier and make the stop.
They are getting off the ball. And it's almost as if Coach Enders has the snap count in his back pocket. They're that quick into the backfield. Here comes Cody Hall to hold this one for Kai Evans. Low snap, he gets it down, and the kick is no good. And Kai Evans gets dropped in the backfield. They've made some changes to the rule change. I don't believe there's a running in the kicker rule any longer. But Kai Evans got worked on that play, and perhaps the right side of the special teams unit. But Skylar Edmonds with his first ever pick 6. He had a pick 6 waved off last season or perhaps the year before. COVID's just wreaking havoc on the time.
On the memory.
And the memory as well. But what a moment there. Our new score now 13-3. And we mentioned it off the air, but Coach DeGrenier is a good coach. He knows how to coach high school football. He's had success at a lot of different places. Of course, he was at Mesquite for a long time, in other places as well, but even Mountain View. But my thought is that he's done enough of a game plan and had enough of a game plan created that they've been able to execute. The last 2 times we played Mesa, they've slowed this Red Mountain offense down. And eventually – the Mountain Lions will wear them down and win handily. But you have to credit Coach DeGrenier for the Jackrabbits. They've competed the last 2 times. As we mentioned, the Red Mountain has won them both times. I think the last time they won, again, it was a slow start, but they won 56-21.
Yeah. It's all about that final score, right, Kev? It's the aggressiveness here tonight for this Red Mountain defense. Right now, their pad level is way lower than the Jackrabbits, especially up front on the offensive and defensive line, and that right now is winning the battle.
And the line of scrimmage, we often go back to that, the guys in the trenches, but literally stealing the show here in this one has been Parker McClure and then now Skylar Edmonds. Simultaneously, they have just stolen the show here. Both of them showing up and showing out here on this road game.
We talked about it a little bit earlier. I spoke about them a little bit earlier this week. About they're the best linebacker duo in the state. If you ask me, someone put out a question, said, hey, here's the question of the day. Who's the best linebacker in the state? I said, well, I got it narrowed down to 2.
Right. And they're all on the same team. They're both on the same team.
And they're both on the same team.
Special thank you to Parker & Sons as Parker & Sons donates $100 on that Skylar Edmonds interception return. They went for 33 yards and a house call. So back to work for the Jackrabbits. It'll be Manny Pino at quarterback with a 3 wide receiver set here. Pino very deliberate at the line of scrimmage, perhaps changing the play. Long count. They run it to Montgomery. And no, this time it's going to be Pino. And Pino, nice ball fake there. He put it in the gut of Montgomery, then pulled it back and then carried it out for about 3 yards before he ran into Michael. Well, let's see. I'll have to double check on the tackle right there. Oh, looked like Heath was involved in the play. Trey Heath, perhaps. Well, let's see. I beg your pardon. They're going to give him about 3 yards. 3.5 is Craig Montgomery comes back in here. I mentioned Montgomery playing in his 20th game tonight for the Mesa Jackrabbits. Lining up on the far side here is Joshua Irish. He has 1 catch on the evening. 3 wide receivers stacked on the wide side. It's Pino to run it again. And Pino with a little bit of a crease, and then he gets swallowed up there just past the 40-yard line. We'll call it the 41. got wiped out there by a host of Mount Mine tacklers. Looked like Skylar Evans was in on the action once again.
Once again, he's got the great form, Kev. He knows how to wrap up. He finishes the tackle a lot. There's no popping and stopping with this defense.
Get you the 3 keys to victory here for Red Mountain. Defensively, on-field communication. We've seen that out of McClure tonight for sure. Get off the field on 3rd down and shut down number 3, Trey Brown. Trey Brown has 0 catches to this point. Pena to the air. He throws. The ball's caught by Trey Brown. How about Trey Brown right on cue? Yeah. This time he's got it, and he's got a 1st down as well.
Trey Brown's got the game on in his helmet, Kev.
That's a 7-yard pass play. Pino to Trey Brown. First catch of the night for Trey Brown. And for Trey Brown, the all-region second teamer in the 6A East Valley last year, he had 11 catches for 164 yards and a 70-yard touchdown against Cactus Shadows in that 26-24 win for Mesa. Empty set. They go back to the near side, and that pass is incomplete. With the coverage for Horizon, that was Cooper Beecher, the corner on the right side. And the ball goes right through the wickets of wide receiver Kelvin Mason. Second target of the night for the 6-foot, 175-pound wide receiver. Clock stop at 6:01 to go, second frame, 13-3. The Red Mountain Mines have come from behind. They trailed this game 3-0, 13 unanswered points. It was Josiah Villanueva and Skylar Evans with a pick 6 on the tip drill for Red Mountain. From their own 47-yard line, there goes Trey Brown in motion. It's Pino to run it, trying to get to the edge. Makes a nice little move as he cuts inside on the far hash marks. You talk about being a little bit wiry right there, getting skinny at the right time. Manny Pino showed you his ability to do just that right there.
He's real quick. He's got some moves, especially if he can get a little bit more blocking from his offensive line and have just a little bit more room to work with. He's dangerous in space.
A little bit of the crease. That's all that young man needs. But he's got some quicks of his own, James.
He does.
5:30 to go to the break. Ball spotted just inside midfield, working right to left are the Mesa Jackrabbits. Trey Brown to the near side. Sizing up with him will be Cooper Beecher. They play off Brown, too. They play a bad snap, and Pino's going to go back to the 40-yard line to cover up the football. And right now the Mesa Jackrabbits are committing some unforced errors, and one of the offensive linemen for the Jackrabbits, the big fella, Wyatt Byer, had pancaked a defender for Red Mountain, and he was kind of on the pile drive action of the pancake. And the guy that came over to enforce the situation for Red Mountain was the captain, Parker McClure. Drilled him to get him off his own man, and got tagged for a 15-yarder. But I'll take that and I'll pay the fine for Parker McClure.
Exactly right. That's exactly what you want to do right there. I mean, it's a battle down there, down low in the trenches, and I'm loving every single minute of it. Parker McClure coming up and disrupting things with the offensive line, which is not typical from a linebacker, Kev. He's just disregarding, he's like, my defensive line they're going to take care of their guy. I'm going to go up there and mess things up.
Well, they didn't give him the full 15 here, but I tell you what, for Wyatt Byer, that young man is writing a couple checks that he may not be able to cash here when he's dealing with Parker McClure. Timeout taken on the field, 5:05 to go to halftime, and we'll step aside. You're watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Mesa High School. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Bowie. JP, we're talking about another score around the Great State 48. We've got Cherry Creek out of Denver here taking on the Chandler Wolves. I mean, that is, you talk about marquee, that's right up there. But what's interesting is you tell me that David Logan, the play-by-play voice for the Denver Broncos, is actually the football coach for Cherry Creek.
Yes.
What a unique dynamic situation there.
It's pretty cool. He's been doing it, I want to say, at least 10 or 12 years now.
Okay.
Maybe even more than that. But the kids love them there, and they're here tonight in Chandler out at Austin Field. And right now, I checked it 7-7 right now in the first quarter. They started late. 7:30 kickoff over there, but we'll keep an eye on that one as the evening goes on.
I wonder what Mr. Logan thinks of my guy Cortland Sutton and Jerry Judy. Some dudes right there.
He's on board.
I'm a big fan of Jerry Judy. Great route runner, great hands. All right, back to work here after that long delay. I'm not sure. That was quite a delay here.
I thought that was halftime for a minute.
A little over a 2-minute delay here for what we couldn't really figure out what was going on. Ball spotted on the 29-yard line. That's where the Mesa Jackrabbits will go back to work here. It's 1st and 10, and that's where they marked off the unsportsmanlike to Parker McClure. But, again, I've already said I'm going to pick up the tab for Parker on that one. That I got the mileage out of that up here. Back to work for Pena. They run it, and Skylar Evans is there to take him out. A TFL for Skylar Evans. He continues to just take command of this defense as there's more pushing and shoving. Now you got Jackrabbit players getting on each other. But if we ever thought or didn't think there was any jawing going on in the field, there is an awful lot of talking amongst these two schools. And just wait here in a few weeks. We get Mountain View at our place.
Oh, baby.
With Joe Germain. That is going to be something to talk about coming up here, James Poovey.
Yeah, that's going to be a good time. And that's at our place, as you mentioned, this time around. But there's a lot of smack talking going on down there tonight.
Trey Brown will line up to the far side. Edward Williams in the slot to the right. Long count for Pena. He's got Montgomery there. He looks left. Here comes the pressure. Pena's going to scramble, and he's going to slide in and give himself up. Now, that was a smart play by Manny Pena. He was going to get decked right there by a whole lot of dudes on that left side, and that was a smart play. Live to play another day, right? As you like to say, that was a business decision for Manny Pena.
Yeah, he wanted to play football maybe a couple more weeks but after tonight, right? Tristan Donlin also in there as well, but Pena was about to run right into Skylar Edmonds on that play.
So Pena gets the play call here from Coach Chad DeGrenier. Now in his 5th campaign as the front man for the Jackrabbits. Good season last year in the East Valley region. They were 2-2, 3-5 overall. Missed the postseason once again. But this school, imagine that, founded back in 1899. That was eons ago. I mean, this school has been around a long time. I think football started somewhere along 1938. And I'll tell you right now, I'll give you a little hint here. That's BK. That's before my time. That's before Kevin. So we just have to – hey, and this is going to surprise everybody watching the game.
Oh, boy.
Another timeout taken on the field here. As we take a look around. Great crowd on hand here.
It is a great crowd.
The Mountain Line faithful made their way over here just to slide down the road. And for the Jackrabbits, a home game. Let me tell you, folks, this is out darn standing to see the fans return here. This is just, God is good, and we got to be so appreciative of being able to be here and witness this game. And James, I thank you for being with me here for 6 years, and it is our privilege, it is my absolute privilege to be calling tonight's game. What a treat, what a joy to be able to do something that you really love to do and have fun doing it.
And I have a blast with you every single week, my man, and it's my pleasure to come out here and do these games with you. I look forward to it every single week, home and away. And it's great to see the fans back in. Red Mountain fans travel really well tonight. And if you think about where we were a year ago tonight on September 10th, we weren't even playing football yet in 2020. We were still waiting.
There goes Trey Brown in motion. Play fake over the middle of the field. The ball's too tall for the intended target. Trey Heap was draped all over the Jackrabbits' Joshua Irish. Good defense again, more pressure, and Manny Pena was forced to release the football maybe just a little bit too soon. And once he did that, he just too much air on that. He threw a pretty good ball. Nice spin on that, but just too tall.
Yeah, Trey Heath's doing a great job in coverage there as well for Red Mountain. He's really doing great in coverage, and he had some great run support play last week at home. So he's really doing a great job here this season for the Mountain Lions.
Coach Enders, our defensive coordinator, once again calling another masterful game. Mike Peterson, a defensive-minded coach. These guys know how to talk defense. They know how to teach defense, coach defense, and play defense. All the above. That is their skill set, their passion. So Pena with Montgomery behind him. Back to throw. Has some time. Deep ball. And the ball is too far for the intended target that fell down. The closest one there was Cooper Turley, or was the other Cooper? It might have been Beach. Falling down was the wide receiver, so tough luck on that fourth down play. So the Mountain Lion defense once again stands on their head. They force the turnover on downs, and here comes Carter Crispin and company one more time here with 3:16 to go to intermission.
Well, you talked, Kevin, about the ability of these coaches to coach defense and teach these guys how to play defense, but the one thing you can't coach is the passion and the fire that these guys play defense with.
Jacoby Lane and Tavion Sewing stacked to the near side. There goes Lawson in motion. He gets the handoff this time. Turns it upfield at the hash marks. There goes Lennox Lawson to speed. Goodbye. 50, 40, 30. Down the sideline. You're not going to catch him. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Lennox Lawson, L3, 70 yards to the end zone. Pater pops. Touchdown, Mountain Lions.
Fantastic job right there. Just a design stretch play. He has the option to break it all the way outside if those safeties come up or the corners come up and run support. But the edge was sealed off perfectly, and L3 just took it straight up. And then as soon as you said, he hit those jets, and there was no tomorrow.
Wow, looking behind him again one more time. There was nobody even in the camera frame. Maybe there was. We don't have a monitor here. But I'll tell you what, I love it when our guys are literally running away from the defender. You talk about breakaway speed. Great call, Josh Barge. And then the execution, the line staying at home and letting Lennox Lawson just do what Lennox Lawson does the best, run like a gazelle down the field. The burst and the finish for Lennox Lawson. Let's do that again soon, huh?
Unbelievable. And it looked like he was only in third, maybe fourth gear there. Wasn't even going full out.
Kai Evans with the point after try. He tacks it on. 3:04 to go to halftime. Red Mountain up 20-3. And boy, have we seen some electric stuff here tonight with a lot of physicality and some thump, a little more thump, and then some thumping.
There has been a lot of hitting going on here tonight. You can hear it. You can almost feel it up here in the booth. And it is electric here this evening. A great crowd on hand. The view is magnificent. The lights are so much better here at Mesa High.
Very much so. Very improved
It's
facilities.
really nice.
You talk about a fast track, too. Boy, Lennox Lawson just exploited this fast track and left the defender in the dust from behind. Just that was just fantastic. I'll tell you what, James, I'm going to go ahead and make a commitment that I'm going to be with you next Friday night on the road at Corona del Sol. Let's do this again next Friday night, huh?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
The Aztecs and the Mountain Lions, we got a lot of work to do here. Plenty of work.
Now, that'll be a ball game.
It could very well be a little different team for Corona del Sol. Here comes Kai Evans, puts this one to play. It's high, and it's end over end. It's a short kick, taken there around the 10-yard line. On the return for the Mesa Jackrabbits. Christopher Figueroa on the play. Caleb Hedrick with the special teams tackle. Hedrick, an outstanding game last week. Did a nice job. He had a lot of playing time last week. We haven't called this man's name yet here tonight, Mr. Jennings, but he too has been fantastic. So Pena goes back to work here, 2:53 to go to the break. There goes Gillis in motion to the far side of the field. 4 down linemen for the Mountain Lions. Pena's going to run it up the middle, and he's just going to have a yard, and maybe that's it. Pena's slow to get up. The J-Man, Jaden Hurst, among friends over there for the Mountain Lions. In on the act as well. For Red Mountain, looked like 55, Tyler Brenner. 5'10", 195, a senior, getting some PT here. Timeout taken on the field. We'll take the timeout with him. You're watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Welcome back to East Mesa, home of the Mesa Jackrabbits. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Bowie. 2:40 to go to the break here. 20-3 Red Mountain. The last scoring play was a 70-yard touchdown run for Lennox Lawson. And for Lennox Lawson now, he has 3 touchdowns on this young season.
Oh, boy. Parker McClure's down there giving it to that offense.
Pena with the snap. Gives it up this time, and that was not the smartest thing to do, but he had to give it up. Another TFL there for the Mountain Lions. Looked like perhaps, let's just double check here. Let's go back up here. Go right back to the same gentleman here. Got to be accurate. Looks like TB once again, Tyler Brenner. I also saw, out of my peripheral vision, Tristan Donlin mixing things up on that particular sequence. Clock rolling at 2:10. Single wide receiver to the right, single to the left. They run it to the near side. And here comes Figueroa, and there are 4 white shirts there waiting for Mr. Figueroa, and they force him out of bounds. First guy in the lead on that 4-man group, Skylar Edmonds.
Pursuit drill in action right there, Kevin. They work on it every day in practice, multiple times every week. You got to take the correct angle. That was exactly what those guys did right there.
James, let's keep an eye out on Craig Montgomery, their bell cow tailback. We haven't seen him for a series or so. It's been Mr. Figueroa. 39 is the number. Keep an eye out on that. Here comes the punt team for the Jackrabbits. In punt formation is Jordan Hagan, the soccer player. And hustling on late for the Jackrabbits for this ball is Sam Ball. How about Sam Ball? 2 minutes with the clock stopped. It's Hagan in punt formation from his own 15-yard line. Good snap back. Puts that one up in the air, and it's a booming punt. And it's going to sail out of bounds. Inside the 25-yard line. Nice punt there as Mr. Haig tries to flip the field here for Coach DeGrenier. And now the Jackrabbits will have the tall order of trying to slow down this Red Mountain offense, starting to feel their oats now a little bit.
Yeah, they'd like to put another one up here. Plenty of time for this offense to take a shot or maybe 2 shots down the field here. 1:53. Plenty of time for Carter Crispin to find Jacoby Lane or maybe L3 one more time.
Lennox Lawson, 4 catches, 61 yards, a pair of touchdowns last week. Jacoby Lane went for 5 and 102 in a pair. 1st and 10 for the 32-yard line. It's Crispin on the run to Michael Mallory. As Mallory spun around, he's going to be grabbed and thrown down. Good pursuit this time by the Jackrabbit defense. Taking away that running lane from Michael Mallory rather swiftly there as Mallory just gets drilled and hops up and hustles off the field. That guy has a motor, James, an absolute motor.
He does indeed.
Now Bargy wants to change the tempo here. Crispin to the left side. Ball is caught, and then getting drilled immediately was Tavion Sewing, his 2nd career reception for that freshman. Had a touchdown reception last week, did Sewing. Went for 50 yards. 1:11 to go. Crispin back to throw, looks left, fires left, and ball's nearly intercepted. One of the few mistakes we've seen Carter Crispin make. That ball was nearly picked off. He threw it right into the breadbasket of the Jackrabbits' Mason Ennin. And for Ennin, coming off a 7-tackle game last week, that'll be a punting situation here for Red Mountain. And if you're Mike Peterson, no sense get silly with the rock here at the 40-yard line. Just punt it down there, flip the field, and perhaps run this clock out with your defense on the field.
Yeah, you should have plenty of confidence in your defense, especially the way they're playing here tonight, only giving up 3 points to the Jackrabbits. Kick this deep, play defense for a couple of downs, and then you go into the locker room.
It's always a good time to bring up the keys of the game with 66 seconds to go in the half. And the defense, we started to say this, but here comes the rush as Figueroa put the heat on. Back for Trey Brown. And, boy, we're going to get a heck of a roll. Another punt inside the 20-yard line here for Mr. Mauder. Back to the keys of the game. We mentioned it initially. It was on-field communication for the defense, and we did single that out. We've seen that. Get off the field on 3rd down. We've seen that as well, and then shut down Trey Brown. he had only had the one catch. So I think I'm repeating myself now, but we got to that point because Trey Brown, the next play, he caught his first pass. Offensively speaking, control the line of scrimmage, and they want to be able to run the football. Be better on third down than we were a week before, and then get the ball into the hands of the playmakers. And I think Lennox Lawson is a playmaker. So check the box on all those. Special teams, Kai Evans throwing some kickoffs. And my impact player of the game tonight, in no particular order, Carter Crispin, Lennox Lawson, Javier Pinion, and Parker McClure. So I feel pretty confident that I've nailed those again this week, James.
Well done, my man. You have prognosticated correctly, my friend.
Well, we type it up and then we leave, and then we just hope it's going to work.
Sure.
But
you're just going off of what you've seen.
49 seconds to go in a 20-3 ball game. Jackrabbits have the football. And if you're Chad DeGrande, what do you want to do here, James? My guess is let's just get to the half with no further damage.
Yeah, you don't want to get anyone hurt. You want to get back in the locker room, make those halftime adjustments, change some things, obviously, defensively, and then obviously you want to change some things offensively. You need to get some more points on the board here against Red Mountain.
I think they're just going to kill the clock here. For the Mountain Lions, they will receive the second half kickoff with this big lead. And now Manny Pina will just take one more snap. They'll run this clock out. We'll go to the break here with a 20-3 tie, or 20-3 lead here.
First varsity football game ever on this field right here tonight, Kevin. How about that?
It is the inaugural game here at Mesa High. We talked about the field conditions. It's just gorgeous. It pops with this new lighting that they have here, and I'll tell you what else pops. This Red Mountain defense, they have been fantastic here in this first half. We are at the break. Our first 24 minutes are in the books, James. It's 20-3 at the break. We'll take a timeout, pay a few bills, and when we come back, join us for all of our halftime festivities coming up next. You are watching Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Mesa High School. I'm Kevin Derrybear alongside my broadcast partner. Now in his 6th campaign with me, it's James Poovey. It's 20-3 here at the intermission. Both teams are back on the field, and really, what a first half it was defensively for Kyle Ender's defense. You talk about guys that prepared all week long, practiced very well, worked on that communication, and they came out here tonight, and they just have laid licks and laid the lumber. Defensively, they have really been you run out of superlatives. I say it so many times. They've just been so good. They've been so robust up front, just stout.
Well, they set the tone early, Kev, is what they did. And now Mesa went into the locker room, and they've got that right there just hanging over the back of their mind saying, this Red Mountain defense is really physical tonight. They've done a great job of keeping their pad level low. They've been underneath the offensive linemen for Mesa all night long, getting into the backfield. They're tying up those linemen for the blocks, and that frees up those linebackers, Skylar Edmonds and Parker McClure, to fly around and just destroy people.
Those guys have been really, really good, and they've been polished tonight, and they played with a real sense. They played with their minds, right? They're really thinking about things, and Kyle Enders does as good a job as anybody as far as preparing his kids throughout the week. Again, you love the idea that Coach Peterson's able to put his 2 cents into the whole thing because he's a tremendous mind in his own right. But you got big plays in there. Skylar Edmonds, a 33-yard interception return, and then the 70-yarder was the big play by Lennox Lawson running away from the defenders. And then Josiah Villanueva ran with power. He ran downhill, and you didn't see a lot of shiftiness from Josiah. You just saw him run with physicality.
He's running north-south, and that's, as we mentioned a lot during the first part of tonight's broadcast, that's very untypical for Josiah Villanueva, but I love to see it. They're lining him up, running in between the tackles, and it's just power football out here tonight for the Red Mountain Mountain Lions.
Shout out to Coach Rooks as he continues to work on that offensive line. Doing a nice job there, just making enough plays for this group here.
And we've got the defensive calls right up here in the booth, Kev, so we just got word from Coach Enders. He's going to let us call the fourth quarter, so that's going to work out really well for us here in the booth. Coach Enders letting us call the fourth quarter.
Good deal. I'll tell you what, I've always been a huge advocate of knife nasty. That is one of those plays that I'm into. And we talk about being surgical on the gridiron and cutting away the heart of the offense. Boy, this defense has done just that. They have answered the challenge, and we're ready to go here in the second half. It's a pooch kick on the far sideline, and half number 2 has began. Michael Mallory over there, the sure-handed Michael Mallory on the return. How about M squared? Michael Mallory, he does so many things, and he just does it with a lot of speed. Here we go again. So back to work here. Oh, okay. So what's great is we're getting conversation from down on the field from Coach Enders through the fellas up here in the booth.
We have actually called in, Kev, the first play of the next defensive series. It's already been requested. It's like a defensive jukebox.
Is it knife nasty?
It's
Lennox lost into the far sideline, and Lennox is going to be wrapped up and thrown out of bounds. Physical play there by the Jackrabbits. That's Romarian Mackey, and Mackey, again, he's slow to get up. This is the second time that Mackey is taking a shot as the Red Mountain trainers take a look at him. With this injury timeout here from Mesa High School, we'll take a quick break. You're watching Mountain Line Football on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network.
14-7 at halftime.
Welcome back to Mesa High School. Romarian Mackey is getting assisted by the training staff here for the Mesa Jackrabbits as Coach DeGrenier made the slow trek over there to collect his helmet. Tough blow for the Jackrabbits. Romarian Mackey, good player, but he's in some discomfort, and it looks like he's going to have to be carried off from one sideline to the other. But Coach DeGrenier has got his hat, gives it to the equipment manager, and we'll wait for them to carry the young man off the field. Certainly a quick thoughts and prayers go out for that young man and a speedy recovery. It looks like he's unable to put any weight on, quite frankly, it looks like maybe the right lower extremity, James, but it's a tough one. What's going on around the Valley of the Sun in the Great State 48? I saw Saguaro and American Leadership doing battle tonight. And how about ALA, the Patriots giving the SaberCats fits here at 7-7. Wouldn't that be an upset if the Patriots could take care of business?
Coach Rich Edwards out there with the ALA Queen Creek Patriots.
It used to be Rich Edwards. Their new head coach is Ty Detmer, a one-time BYU great, and his offensive coordinator is
Max Hall.
Max Hall,
that's
exactly
right. My mistake.
So that BYU connection, those guys know how to. They were a heck of a players, right? Both quarterbacks, but they've done a nice job over there sending Rand Jensen to the next level. They had Isaiah Jamison a couple years back. I think he's playing for Steve Campbell at Williamsfield now. And that's going to be a game that the Mountain Lions are going to circle, that Williamsfield game. If they could continue to win that game against Williamsfield, just very well may be for the Fiesta region at some point. This is Carter Crispin to the air. It's Jacoby Lane at the 50, trying to run away from everybody. Still on his feet, and he dropped around the 45-yard line there. Penalty marker on the play back at the 46-yard line. It's going to be a holding call assessed to Red Mountain. This one's coming back.
That's unfortunate because that was a great reception and some yards after the catch right there for Jacoby Lane, but all for naught, unfortunately, as the penalty flag will bring it back.
Great to talk to Jacoby Lane after last week's game on the field. A lot of positives for that young man. It was nice to see him finally, as he said in the piece, get his turn, and he did some damage with his opportunities. We mentioned over 100 yards receiving, a couple of touchdowns. But he's a big play threat. He's one of those guys that can take a slant and take it to the house. Working on that physicality, and as he's talking to the Jackrabbit bench saying, hey, I don't think anybody here can defend me, and he may be right. And Lennox Lawson, the other guy, they may not be able to defend either. 20-3 here as we begin this third quarter. There goes Josiah Villanueva again, running hard off that right side, working behind the right guard. Good movement up front there as Rudy Robertson setting the tone up front with a nice block and that push off on the line, James.
Outstanding job up front. The offensive line firing off the football, doing a great job of that, continuing to do a great job of that. Second and long now. They got to keep that up right here on this drive.
Jefferson Giles is the anchor. He took over for Aiden Peebler, who was an all-region performer last year. They go back up the middle again for Josiah Villanueva as he bangs into the pile and trying to move the pile and get the Mountain Lions in better situation here, more manageable. It's now third down at midfield. Well, they're going to put it they'll put it down at the 49-yard line of the Mountain Lions. 10:43 to go.
Another great power run right there for Red Mountain. Only a 5-yard gain on the play, but excellent hard-nosed football up front right there.
That was a key to the game last week. Averaged 5 yards a pop. Crispin, short drop back, throws, and the ball is in and out of the hands of Lennox Lawson. Or Lennox, he's just one of those guys where he's starting to, and again, it's early for this young man, but as a junior, he's starting to get in that jaw-dropping type category where he can do those types of things that just make you go, wow. The younger brother of Lance Lawson, now starring at Southern Utah. And we started talking about the two bodies and what would happen if we saw Lance here in a foot race with Lennox. Yeah, I think it'd be a lot closer than we might have an idea of. Just L2 will tell you that. And there's a punt taken there by Trey Brown inside the 25-yard line with the fair catch as Mr. Mauderer puts that one in play here. 10:20 to go in this third quarter. Our score remains 20-3. What does Coach DeGrenier do here at halftime? What kind of adjustments do you see him making as he tries to find some offense for this Jackrabbit football team?
Well, they're going to have to find some outlets is what they're going to have to do first, Kevin, because the pressure's coming up the middle from that Red Mountain defense, so the quarterback is getting flushed out of the pocket. He's got nowhere to throw, so they're going to have some quick checkdowns for him to be able to keep a drive going and pick up a couple of first downs.
It'll be Pena again at quarterback. 2 stacked to the left, 2 to the right. Pena wants to throw. He's flushed out of the pocket. Now he's going to scramble and run. And he's at the 30, out across the 32-yard line, and he got dropped right there. On the chase was number 30, Parker McClure, and he hustles him down and tracks him down. Another tackle for Parker McClure. He's gone over 200 here in his career. Parker McClure, perhaps maybe the stick of the season that we have seen. It is a young season, but no doubt, in my mind, one of the best hits I've seen at the high school level in quite some time, JP.
Absolutely. A thing of beauty. I cannot wait to watch that back later tonight.
Okay, they go back to Montgomery. He runs on the right side behind the right guard, and unfortunately for him, the Mountain Lion defense just swarming the football, beating everybody to the spot. And it looked like McClure and company again defensively there for this Mountain Lion front 4, and their front 7 has been dominant tonight, James.
You know what it is? It's the hustle factor, Kevin. They're all hustling to the football. It's all about 11 hats to the ball every single time, and it just keeps happening over and over and over again.
So I've got James to the third power here. We got a fan here for the Jackrabbits with the name James on the back. I'm working with James Poovey, and to my right is the coach, James Fall. So there you go. It's James to the third power here up in the booth. And Parker McClure once again right there to flatline the ball carrier. Another outstanding open field bone-jarring pop by Parker McClure as he just decleated the Jackrabbits Junior St. Cyr.
Coming up, making the stop. He puts his face mask right in the chest plate of the receiver and just drops the hammer on him.
McClure insincere to St. Cyr on that particular play. First at 10 on 36. Give the Jackrabbits a first down. They go up the middle again, and very little yardage to speak of, but the Red Mountain defense again swarming to the football as Montgomery carries the rock. Back-to-back carries for him and for Red Mountain. He's had a couple tackles in that first half. He continues to play well for the Mountain Lions here, and that is 55, Tyler Brenner. We're going to know Tyler Brenner's number by the time this game's over. That's his third tackle. Gain of 3. 2nd and 7 from their own 39-yard line as, again, the Mountain Lions back out of a blitz. Pena wants to throw. Winds up, fires, far side, right near the 40-yard line as the Mountain Lions secondary, the defender was Xavier Sanchez, comes up to make the first tackle of the night for him. Sanchez with the tackle as Monty comes back on the field. Craig Montgomery. Joining him is Manny Pino. He's got the play call. And hustling off the field is Junior St. Cyr. Gain of 7. 2nd and 3 from their own 43-yard line on the far hash mark. Trips to the near side for the Jackrabbits. They run it again in space and then giving himself up as he approaches the 47-yard line. A late hit comes in. Manny Pena got rocked at the very end. He gave himself up, but he might be in some discomfort. Last guy to get up off the pile was Parker McClure. A penalty marker came in. They're looking for a late hit or perhaps an unsportsmanlike, but that was a big-time collision here. And let's just hope that Manny Pena is okay.
Wow, that was a huge hit, Kevin. That was a sandwich job right there, what it was between Parker McClure and Skylar Edmonds, and they just came in there and just unloaded on Pino. And I tell you, that should, if they don't take him off the football field after that earlier hit in the ball game from Parker McClure, and now he gets that one right there, I don't know what to say. That he can't.
It looks like they're applying a bandage up towards his face maybe. Maybe he took a shot towards the dome and he's been cut, but Chad DeGrania over there looking in on his player, Manny Pena, his quarterback, has got to be saying, hey, you guys are beating my dudes up. I mean, you're just literally destroying them. But I'm going to say, I thought Pena was in a tweener spot. He was running hard, and then he gave himself up. So I think the foul that comes in here, I think it's a questionable call because the defenders were literally in no man's land. How do you throw on the brakes and not continue your momentum.
Right. He was trying to continue to play. As you said, he was kind of in the grasp, but at least along the lower part of his body, trying to extend and make extra yardage, and then that's when he got sandwiched between the two Red Mountain defenders. So they're going to throw this is going to be targeting more than likely.
So it looked like his left cheek was scratched a bit as Chad DeGrenia gets a fist bump from Manny Pena. And for a minute there, I was wondering if Manny Pena even knew what area code he was in as he first came out of that meeting with the trainers. But now he appears like he's okay, but the trainers continue to work on him. And they're going to definitely push Red Mountain back the other way, or they're going to give the Jackrabbits another 15 yards. So tough call assessed to that defense. Again, we'll have to look at that film and see what we really saw there, but that one was tough to take that penalty for.
Well, Kev, they're going to look at Parker McClure right now on the sideline because he took a good portion of that blow as well there, and he was slow to get up after the hit to Pino. So
he was.
He is off the field right now for the Red Mountain defense.
That was a pretty good observation right there as they run it to Figueroa. Trey Heath over there defensively to make the tackle. So DeMoss is out there with Tyler Brown and Tyler Brenner. And let's see here.
The Red Mountain training staff, I finally spotted McClure over on the training table. They're running him through the concussion protocol, Kev.
Yeah, that was quite a collision. So the clock is stopped with 6:54. We'll continue to monitor these players going down. You can see the last player that went down. That was 16. That's Romarian Mackey. He's on the trainer's table with some ice on his left knee. And Manny Pena is going through what could be maybe a suture repair on his cheek there. And that's what they've been covering up with the blood. But the big story right now is the health of Parker McClure. And Skylar Edmonds is over there taking a look at his teammate, and that's one thing that Parker McClure has been able to avoid is the injury bug. He has just been a stalwart defensively, a guy that you can count on. And I always say this, James, I go, the best ability you can have is availability, and Parker McClure has been that guy. He really has. In fact, McClure playing in his 24th game of his career tonight. Skylar Edmonds is playing in career game number 21 for him.
Well, McClure is a type of player that basically has to have an arm or a limb hanging off before he's going to come off the football field. So obviously you saw the amount of contact that he's delivered out here in this ballgame tonight here on the field at Mesa High School. And they're running Pino through the concussion protocol. And how about his toughness? I mean, he's taking some shots here tonight, Kevin. I didn't think either one of those guys was going to get up for a minute.
We're going to go back to the archives and go through the careers and go back a few years here and just think about some of the players that the Mountain Lions have taken out of the game. I know Ryan Keeley was never the same after he played Red Mountain at Red Mountain High School, that Basel Red Mountain game a few years back. Lance Lawson went for an 80-yarder in that one. But, boy, I tell you what, Coach Enders and Coach Peterson, they just know how to teach the game of defense, and they're just so good. So here's St. Cyr running the football now. And the one thing that we can say for Parker McClure, perhaps this is one of those types of games with this kind of lead that you could kind of just let Parker throw on an ice pack and call it good for the night as Brandon Kasmerick will give way for Tyler Brenner. But a nice run there by St. Cyr this time, as now we see Cy Schmaltz. Schmaltz now playing for Manny Pino. So Pino will more than likely, he's just watching from the sidelines, perhaps he too being in that concussion protocol. That's what we'd have to believe, that both those guys just met each other. It was a perfect storm and a perfect hit. Schmaltz now the quarterback. They give it to Montgomery, and he's going to be grabbed and thrown down to the ground by Quinn Roper. Quinn Roper jetting through the offensive line, blowing those guys up. They just ate up the left tackle and then shot through the gap for another TFL for Quinn Roper.
Roper doing a great job fighting through there, looking for the open lane, getting skinny, and then making himself available in that backfield for the stop. A great job there. And this defense just keeps on rolling. They just keep plugging players in. Right place, right time. It's all about coaching.
It would be fun to see McClure back out there just from the health standpoint, but his health is number one here the rest of the way. Schmaltz to the air. Throws left. Ball is caught by Trey. Trey Brown was the intended receiver, and now they're going to say he didn't bring the ball in. He lost his footing. We've seen that happen a couple times, and that's just something that these players are going to have to get used to. Perhaps, James, from your experience, playing on synthetic turf might be a little bit different from our playing days, but do they change the cleats? Do they make them longer? Do they make adjustments with their footwear on these types of fields? Or maybe in some cases they're using a small cleat, more of a track type shoe.
Yeah, we used to have an actual turf shoe when we would play on turf, and it was rare. It was rare, real rare, especially in Texas, to play on turf back in the day, and I'm talking about early 90s. But, yeah, they definitely have to modify things on the footwear for turf versus natural surfaces.
Jackrabbits turn it over on downs. There's Josiah Villanueva. First time of the night, he takes it away from the middle of the field, uses that speed, gets to the edge, turns the corner, and picks up big yardage right there for Josiah Villanueva. Great run on first down. Give him 6.
Nice push up front. It all starts by the offensive line, paving the way for Josiah Villanueva. And I am just so impressed with this power football, especially from the former number 26, now still throwing me off with the number change there.
And there goes Josiah Villanueva again, right behind the left tackle and the left guard with a huge hole and a big gainer for Villanueva. Just carving out big yardage now on this interior of this Jackrabbit defense. That's starting to show a little wear here. They're getting a little bit tired here.
Hands on hips up front right now for the Jackrabbits.
Gain of 12 for Villanueva. Long count for Crispin. Wants to throw. Gets it to Lane on the wide receiver screen. Lane makes a move at the 40 and lowers his shoulder as they put a couple shots on Jacoby Lane. And he gets up with some help from his teammate as Jacoby Lane will hand the ball to the head linesman. And Josiah Villanueva, just a difference maker here tonight as you see the defender for Mesa make a play there, James.
Yeah, he came up there and tattooed Jacoby Lane right in the side of the helmet there as he was going down. Alex Picasso, they've been going at it all night. The defensive backfield for Mesa and Jacoby Lane.
Cooper Turley lines up to the far outside. This is another sweep for Villanueva with a 40, 35. Lowers his shoulder, dips through there, and here comes a late flag from the umpire. So the penalty comes from the center of the field. And you see the Jackrabbits player hustling off. And that is Sam Ball. And whenever you see a flag and then a player hustle off the field that quickly, I always think that's the guy that made the foul right there. And we're just having fun with Sam Ball right there. We're having a ball tonight.
He's been politely waved over by the coach. Say, hey, come talk to me for a minute there, young man. Let me give you some words of wisdom there.
What we missed was that quick whistle. You know, that authoritative whistle. You know the one I'm talking about. Well, I get that whistle from my dad. I'd be
quick blast. Yeah.
I'd be 2 miles away from the house at like Smitty's, and I'd hear that whistle from my dad. I'm like, you know what? I got to go, folks.
I'm on my way home. That's exactly right.
Boy,
that's the reason I never skipped school, Kevin, when I was a kid, because I was too scared of my dad.
Good thing. That means you were brought up the right way. Nothing like the fear of Pops. Lennox Lawson lines up to the slot to the right. He's stacked up with Jacoby Lane. Pick your poison on that right side for Carter Crispin. Here comes Turley in motion. Long count for Crispin. Looking right all the way. Wants to go to the end zone. He does. The ball is in and out of the hands of a wide open Lennox Lawson. What a route by Lennox Lawson, and perhaps Crispin just missed him right there. If you ask Lennox, should he have caught the ball, he'll probably tell you that he should have, but that ball was just a little bit high, and what a leaping attempt for Lennox Lawson. That might happen again. We call Lennox Lance.
Yeah,
L3 right there, getting it done.
Yeah, that might happen a couple of times, as a matter of fact, Kevin. But coming up to cause that interruption right there was 22, Andrew James from Mesa. He put the pressure on Crispin and forced the early pass, not able to plant his feet and deliver the strike.
Two-back set. Here comes Villanueva in the second level. Still on his feet to the 5. Angles for the pylon, and he's going to dive in and score a touchdown. Josiah Villanueva, an 18-yard scoring run, and the Mountain Lions have extended the lead to 26-3. Point after try coming. Have a night, Josiah Villanueva, his second rushing touchdown of the evening.
The beauty part about having a guy like Josiah Villanueva, You come out, you run the football all night between the tackles. What's the defense expect? You to go right there again between the tackles, and then you got a guy like that, speedy, elusive. You get him on the edge, and he just runs for the pylon.
Cody Hall out there to hold for Kai Evans. 3:37 to go. Hustling onto the field for Red Mountain. And now the Mountain Lions, no, they're going to be able to save it. The left guard was hustling on for Red Mountain.
How about lost the left index finger there, Kev, on that touchdown there for Josiah Villanueva. I can still feel that thing.
You see the purple there? That's what I did at halftime.
That's what's coming, right?
Yeah.
All right, got it.
If you feel
That's what you get from coming over here to Mesa. You get a little purple to go home with, right?
If you feel the sting, it's coming. Woo. Nothing like getting an update on your computer. That I have an email coming in from LinkedIn.
There you go.
3:37 to go. We're still waiting for the point after try here. Another nice run by Villanueva. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is up, and it is true. 27-3 our score. 27 unanswered points now for the Mountain Lions, and they've got everything working here. This ground game, they wanted to run the football. Last week they did an okay job. They certainly wanted to get back on the horse tonight and start to really create and develop a running game, and I think they've done that here tonight, James.
They have indeed. The push by the offensive line has been outstanding. Josiah Villanueva getting it done both between the tackles and now outside the tackle box as well. And they have just so many weapons here and great blocking on the outside as well by the wide receivers. Let's not forget to mention that.
Nice job there by Tavon Brooks, the offensive line coach. He's done a great job. A one-time Los Angeles Ram player. Just guys like that, good coaches that love the game. They love to teach the game. You know, there's always going to be that camaraderie with the coaches within the system. Do they like to run it? How do they want to run it? Do they want to run zone scheme? They want to run power? Whatever the issue is. But Tavon Brooks, a real nice get for Mike Peterson's football team and his coaching staff, James.
Yes, indeed. He's done a great job with this offensive line in a short amount of time, really. Coach Brooks just came in, I believe, towards the end of the 2019 season, I want to say.
Figueroa back at his own 10. Looks up, and he splits the defense, goes down the sideline at the 25, and he's finally run out of bounds there by the Mountain Lions. Over there on the special teams unit for Red Mountain was Zane Wang. Wang, 5'6", $130, got a few carries last week in that running clock when the Mountain Lions destroyed Dobson 47-0. 3:32 to go here in this one in the third quarter. It's 27-3, and really we want to just hope and pray that our guy, Parker McClure, is okay. And when you look at the score and the separation, no need to put 30 back in there in this one.
Absolutely not. I would not see a need to put him back in here, even if Mesa brings it close, because that's the guy you're going to want deep into the season, at the end of the season, and then into the playoffs as well.
I'd like to see McClure on the sideline just holding his hat, and that would be an indication for me. So to be Cy Schmaltz with the long count, looks left, fires, and there's nobody home. He wanted Trey Brown. He threw into double coverage. Nice job there by Red Mountain. On the coverage was Cooper Beecher. And also in that vicinity was Mav Starks. Starks has been all over the field, and I had a lot of plays early on in this ball game. But doing a good job here in that secondary.
You talk about nice pickups for Coach Peterson just a minute ago. We had a nice conversation with Todd Heap after last week's ball game outside the stadium, and he's come on to help out the ball club. He's got a son on the team, Kyle Heap, and he got some reps last week in the varsity game as well.
Oh, my. Red Mountain nearly intercepted that one. Trying to jump the route for the Mountain Lions was Cooper Beecher. Then for Red Mountain, going back to the Heap scenario, you've got Kyle Heap and then Preston Heap. So he's got two sons on the team, and they both scored their first varsity touchdowns against Dobson last week. And it was fun talking to Coach Heap. He was kind of reluctant to talk to you and I, James, initially, and then we found out who we were. Then he started to open up a little bit, and we saw that smile. He was a proud papa, no doubt about it.
He was. It was great to see, and he was just being a dad, watching his kids play football, and it was great. Enjoyed visiting with him last week.
Schmaltz back to throw. He fires over the field towards the 40-yard line for Trey Brown, and then Cooper Beecher is all over that play again. Penalty marker comes in, and for my money, this is and I'm not an official here. every now and then I'll play one on television, but I thought that was a ticky-tack call right there. I thought the throw was a misfire, and they're just kind of bailing out the Jackrabbits on this sequence based on the call upcoming. Jimbo?
Yeah, that was definitely Scotch tape ticky-tack right there, Kev, because that was just good coverage right there by number 8, Cooper Beecher. But the referee thought he was a little bit too close for comfort.
So they'll assess a pass interference penalty on Cooper Beecher. Beecher's just trying to get an explanation from the head linesman. Smart play for Beach.
And if anyone in Phoenix wants to make a whole lot of money at these high school football games this season, you could be outside selling cans of off insect repellent. My
Schmaltz
goodness.
to the far side of the field. Ran out of life on that particular throw. Going for Etwood Williams. Etwood might have one catch in this game. Another defensive goal and a defensive key was to take Trey Brown out of the contest, and they have done just that.
Yeah, they've shut down the 5'9", 155-pound junior here tonight.
So DeMassa now playing in that spot occupied typically by Parker McClure. Right there in the middle playing that Mike back spot. 2nd and 10 with the clock stop with 3:14 to go in this third quarter. Empty set for Schmaltz. Wants to go down the middle of the field. The ball's going to be caught in Red Mountain territory. Nice catch there by Kelvin Mason. Good delivery of the football. And up there for Red Mountain was Cooper Beecher. On the hunt coming in behind him with some pursuit was Xavier Fendenheim. And they'll stop the clock long enough to move the chains. In fact, Red Mountain's going to take a timeout. So the Mountain Lions want to regroup right here defensively here. 3:05 to go in this third quarter. It's 27-3 Mountain Lions. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network.
The right place.
Welcome back to Mesa High School, where the Mountain Lions are taking care of business here in this one. They lead it 27-3.
Let me segue this here, Kevin. One of the benefits, folks, that you get from listening to Red Mountain Football here, especially in the early parts of the season, is you get weekly baseball scoring updates from our own KDB.
Well, I tell you what, James,
an avid Dodgers fan.
Great point right there from Chavez Ravine in Los Angeles. The Dodgers lead 3-0 over the San Diego Padres on the strength of a 2-run Jimmy by Max Muncy. 3-0 right now. 3:05 to go. As Vinny would say, let's go back to this one. And the ball's intercepted on the far sideline. Here come the Mountain Lions with the football. 44 for Red Mountain. Caleb Heydrich making plays for this football team. Nice read of the football, and the second takeaway of the night. I was thinking we might be on our way to another pick six. Nice job by Caleb Heydrich.
When he first grabbed it, I thought he had plenty of room to run there towards the edge, but the defense or the special teams, defense turned special teams right away for Mesa. Did a nice job closing in, but a great interception right there for the Mountain Lions, and they are in business right here now.
Carter Crispin back on the field. They bunch it up. Empty set now, as Villanueva is the action man. Two wide receivers to the near side here. One tight end. Crispin gives it up for Villanueva. Outside of the 20. Stiff arm to tackle. It turns the corner at the 15. And he gets ridden out of bounds rather rudely there by the Mesa Jackrabbits. A trio of Jackrabbit players over there to remove the helmet from Josiah Villanueva.
He about removed a Jackrabbit helmet there on that stiff arm, Kevin. A great run to the edge right there by Villanueva, and once again, the power on display.
Love the idea and the usage of a stiff arm. That was spectacular. 9-yard gash from Villanueva. He is approaching a 100-yard evening for the Typhoon. 2:38 to go. 2 stacked to the left, 2 stacked to the right for Crispin. Wants to throw to the top of your screen. He lost the football. And this might be a live ball. I think it's a live ball. It was picked up by the Jackrabbits, Nathan Rodarte. And I believe that pass was intended for Merrick Braden, and he was behind the line of scrimmage. This is a good call for this officiating team here, James.
Yeah, that was a great call. That's heads-up football right there by the Mesa Jackrabbits defense, knowing that that's a live football. That's a backwards pass, and that ball is live.
So a rare giveaway for the Mountain Lions. They have 2 takeaways, and they've given it away once. And I believe that the Mountain Lions actually have 3 takeaways with 1 fumble recovery as well. So Mesa will take over.
44 down there rocking the turnover chain. Nathan Rodarte for the Mesa Jackrabbits.
Yeah, he was the one that picked it off. 2:26 to go on this change of possession now. They go back to Cy at quarterback. He runs right, and they stand him up over there. Absolutely stonewalled. Quinn Roper was over there making the tackle along with Tyler Brenner. And this group has just continued to be fearless, and they have been really, really tough up front all night long. You talk about some tough sledding for this Mesa Jackrabbit offensive line. They're getting worked tonight.
They are getting worked indeed. Great push by the defensive line for Red Mountain, doing a great job using their hands and getting off of blocks here tonight.
Cy Schmaltz with the pistol formation under a blitz. He throws, and the ball is too tall for his intended target. They wanted to set up that wide receiver screen with Etwood Williams. And Williams has been targeted 3 times tonight, but unable to get that pass play going.
Now that right there was a full house blitz put on by Red Mountain's Coach Kyle Enders, led by 55 Tyler Brenner, just screaming up the A-gap right there for the Mountain Lions. Great job.
They were coming, no doubt. 3rd and 10 now from their own 32-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left here, stacked for Cy Schmaltz. He's got St. Cyr behind him. Low snap. Schmaltz winds up. Deep ball. And there is nobody home but Cooper Beecher. And Cooper Beecher darn near made a beautiful over-the-shoulder interception on that particular play.
He needed about a quarter step more on that one. He would have had it. He tried to haul it in, but it just bounced right off his knee pad and fell to the turf.
We haven't mentioned his name since the first quarter, but I just love the part he's playing out there, the size that he's playing with, and the speed. Just haven't called his number enough, but Ryan Grosskloss, 6'2", 205, just love what he brings to the table as a football player.
Absolutely. A big contributor here on this defense.
Punt formation here for the Jackrabbits. The big fella, 88, Jordan Hagan, back there deep at his own 17-yard line. It's a low snap, and he puts this one up in the air, but we get all kinds of penalties here. Another booming punt to the far side. For Haig, he's got a leg, doesn't he, James?
He does indeed. And that's a big weapon right there if you think about the technique that he's able to use from that kicking position, and he could be really effective if Mesa is able to right the ship and get things going offensively and defensively. He can really contribute on that special teams unit.
So the Red Mountain Lions are going to come back onto the field with their offense here. The ball's going to be spotted on the, looks like the 17-yard line. So they waved off that punt. I'm not sure if they had the down and distance correct or what, but Red Mountain's got the football, and it's Carter Crispin going to take the snaps. He goes to Michael Mallory up the front, and he gets drilled at the line of scrimmage, and the ball is loose, and the Mountain Lions are going to cover it up. Josiah Villanueva covers up the fumble, but Michael Mallory took a lick in the middle of the field. Nathan Rodarte, good to see him back on the field. He's the one that applied that really nasty, nasty hit.
Every time you do tackling drills, that's exactly what you're coached to do. Go in there, put your hat right on the football and dislodge it. That thing popped out of there like a Pop-Tart, Kevin.
A Pop-Tart that was done toasting. Villanueva lost his footing for a second. He tried to make that cut, And let's hope he's all right. Anytime you see a guy make a cut and then lose his footing for a moment, I'm always taking a deep breath.
Yeah, he got decked.
27-3 our score. 48 seconds to go. In the red zone again on the mountain lines. Cooper Turley lines up to the far left. You got Jacoby Lane in the slot to the right. Crispin gives the ball to Lennox Lawson, and Lawson broke the initial tackle, and he drives forward, running on the far hash marks, pick up a couple of yards. Interesting play call right there at this juncture of the game. Inside run for Lennox Lawson. Hustling off the field for the Mountain Lions was Preston Heap. Preston Heap, he scored that touchdown last week from Carter Crispin, the 5th of the night. And our final 3 seconds of the third quarter will wind down. We have officially played 3 quarters here from Mesa High School. With this pause of the action, we'll take a quick break. You are watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. One, two, three, go.
To begin the fourth quarter, here's the voice of Red Mountain Football, Kevin Derryberry.
27-3, our score as we begin play here. Working left to right now is Carter Crispin and company. Lawson to the right of Crispin, Villanueva to the left. Quick snap. They throw it towards the end zone, and making a one-handed catch was Jacoby Lane. That's why that young man is nicknamed Inspector Gadget for that kind of play right there. And too bad they're going to wave it off. That was a highlight reel one-handed grab from Jacoby Lane.
Wow, you can't help but think of the OBJ right there when you see that one. The back shoulder, and he used the opposite hand and just went up and scooped it, but all for naught, unfortunately, as the play was blown dead.
I love the play call. 50-50 ball to Jacoby Lane in the end zone. Just absolutely rock and roll with that play call, Bargy. Love it. Stay aggressive and get that guy the football.
I like to see him go for that one again, Kev.
Procedure call assessed. Boy, the snap count was a little bit tardy there. Somehow or another, Jefferson Giles and Carter Crispin didn't get together on that one. So do you go right back to the same play call here? Jacoby Lane lines up on the far side.
Especially to the boundary side, yes.
Lining up to defend him there is Edward Williams. We talked about that early in the first quarter. Crispin slaps the hands, looks right, wants to go to that way again. Jump ball for Lane in the corner, and the ball is caught for a touchdown. Jacoby Lane. Penalty marker on the play. They put him up. The touchdown is good as long as it holds up. What a pass by Carter Crispin, and the execution by Jacoby Lane to leap up, high point it, and secure the football was just fantastic.
In double coverage nonetheless, too, Kevin. What a delivery right there from Carter Crispin.
Man. They're going to call it on the mountain lines. Tough break there. And if they call pass interference on Jacoby Lane, unfortunately here, we'll try to pick it up on the replay, see if we can't spot anything here, but it looked like there might have been a little that little separation shove. I don't even know if it's fair to call it a shove. It looked like a separation tap.
It's
almost.
just a little, it's not a full extension. It's just a little nudge.
It was a separation. It was a little finesse of a separation. I didn't even think it was enough to call.
Well, he's got to do something right there. He's in double coverage, right?
Tough break there. But if I'm Coach Barge,
I'm going right back.
Yeah, I'm feeling kind of froggy. Let's just run it back. Do it again.
One more time.
Easy for us to say.
Let's go.
Up here. So now they'll back him up to the 32-yard line. Crispin hustles back onto the field. Turley will line up to the near side. Jacoby Lane to the far side. The tailback is Josiah Villanueva. They're going to do a delay to Villanueva. It's 4th down and a mile. 4th and 23. So there goes Turley in motion. Crispin back to throw. Going for Lane again in the end zone, and the ball is, this time it's going to be incomplete. And now there's another penalty marker coming in.
Yeah, he was mugged the whole time.
They're working on Jacoby Lane. Ramari and Mackey have the extra talk in there, the conversation. I think this one's going to be a pass interference penalty on Mesa this time. And I love the play call from Bargy again to go right back after it. Pretty good ball there by Crispin, too. But you have to credit the defense this time. They were able to, as we bob and weave the grasshoppers here up in the press box, between the gnats, the moss, the grasshoppers, and this and no air. We're here battling the elements as James Poovey already did a spot for off bug repellent. The only time I ever think about using off is up in the White Mountains.
You have to bring some of those down here to the valley, Kev. Bring some cans of off down here with you.
So more penalties
jobbing
here. And this one should go against the Jackrabbits. But you got to love that battle. As you know, Jacoby Lane can talk with the best of them, James.
Yeah, he loved that. You could see they ripped his helmet off there, and he was just applauding the impending infraction right there, soon to be assessed to the Jackrabbits.
So now they'll spot the football. They'll put it down in between the 12 and the 13-yard line. Now they're going to continue to move on. Let's see where they're going to put it down. They didn't even know where they're going to put it down.
If we were in the league, it'd be 1st and goal at the 1.
Right, but
no spot fouls here in high school, right?
We're not here. We're not calling this game on a Sunday right now.
Not yet.
Soon.
Speak it into existence, my man.
Speak for yourself, right? Ball is going to be placed. They're going to set it down on the near hash, just past the 9-yard line. As the referee blows the whistle and puts this one back in play, they wind the clock at 11:44 to go. No, with a dead ball. And now we're going to get a timeout. Hopefully we'll play some football.
Mountain Lion fans, download the YouTube app now, and you can join the play-by-play voice of Red Mountain Football, Kevin Derryberry, and color analyst myself, James Poovey, inside the Parker & Sons press box. Watch your Red Mountain Lions tonight on YouTube.
By the way, we would like to thank Parker & Sons on that 70-yard touchdown dash for cash for Lennox Lawson. $100 from Parker & Sons given to Red Mountain Football. Proud sponsors of Red Mountain Football is Parker & Sons. $300 more earned tonight with 3 touchdowns. Make it 4 touchdowns with 1 point after try that was no good.
Hey, if I get into one of the games, Kev, here in the near future and house a couple, you think we can get a little bit of those funds redirected to a window unit up there in the press box in the Red Mountain High School? I'm just throwing it out there for anyone in the listening audience here this evening.
Right, around the globe. If you
around
are
the globe
working for Parker & Sons, we need some cold air up in that press box.
Oh, wouldn't it be nice?
But from what I gather, that's part of the plans. That's part of the future. I've seen some renderings of this new press box at Red Mountain High School, and I tell you what, James, it's going to be something.
Please forward said renderings, yes.
All right, back to work here. They're in the green zone now, and it's Carter Crispin at quarterback. He takes the snap. They run it to Lennox Lawson, and Lennox Lawson trying to get free there, angling to his left on the near hash. There's the Jackrabbits there to answer Lennox Lawson. That's an interesting call there, an interesting usage of Lennox. I'm not sure that I personally like Lennox in that role. I like Lennox in space as much as I can. The routes he's ran tonight have been Really nice precision routes. Just the timing hasn't been there. So work to do for this passing game. Maybe they go to Jacoby Lane here on the right side here. Let's call it now. Jacoby Lane will split out to the numbers here. It's Crispin at quarterback. Takes the snap. They run it to Villanueva. He cuts it back inside of the 5, and he's going to score another touchdown. Touchdown number 3 on the night for number 34, Josiah Villanueva. Great run right there, and give the Typhoon a hat trick here in Mesa.
How about it? He went head up right there at the goal line on number 20, Christopher Figueroa, and old Josiah Villanueva might have bounced that outside and maybe got it in the end zone and maybe got stonewalled there, but he just ran right through the right shoulder of number 20 that time.
Little good old trucker type move right there. He just went right through him. You're right, James. He didn't go around the cones this time.
No.
He went right through the cones, and he finished the run on that blocking sled. That was pretty impressive there for Josiah Villanueva. Snap is down by Hall. The kick is up, and it is good for Kai Evans. Our new score at the 11-17 mark in this fourth quarter. It's now 34-3. The Mesa Jackrabbits are trailing the Red Mountain Mountain Lions. Red Mountain look to improve to 2-0, and they get the Aztecs on the road next week. Passing on a score. There's no need to pass on that score. All right, we're going to pass it on. It's a tease. Desert Edge got beat up tonight. Or did they do the beating up?
No, they did the beating up.
Desert Edge over Westview. Not sure that anybody here in this game has a concern for that one. But the Jackrabbits are just slow to come out to the field after a scoring play. And you could tell right now that the Jackrabbits are they're starting to feel it a little bit. Red Mountain has come in here and played as a physical game as I've seen them play in quite some time. They have really been just angry out here tonight, mean and nasty. And that's why we have play calls like under knife nasty, which we'll have to go back to the film, James, and find out how my play call went.
Yes, we will. We'll go look at that in the
I think it was a TFL.
When we illustrate all that film later tonight.
Here comes Atwood Williams out to the 30. And for a moment, the Jackrabbit faithful here they were seeing that run with their heart, and then they ran right into that wedge and getting things done on the special teams group for the Mountain Lions. It looked like Champ Jennings over there getting it done. We talked about Jennings' dad playing at ASU, a walk-on back in 1997. Former Sun Devil. Quite a pedigree, nice bloodline right there, James Poovey. Arizona
oh,
State.
No. Here we go.
Schmaltz puts it into the belly of St. Cyr, and he's going to get dropped here.
You are watching Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network.
Inside 11 minutes to go. Gain of 6 for St. Cyr. Junior St. Cyr. Continue to look out for Parker McClure, folks. Little hesitation, and then takes that second attempt to go right towards the defense as Tanner DeMassa gets things done, as he has all night long. Grosscross will give way here for the Mountain Lions. Matt Starks. And that's something that Coach Enders has done a nice job at, is moving people in and out. He's got a lot of bodies in there. The Mountain Lions appear to be fresh. We can only pray right now that McClure is just being held out for precautionary reasons or the fact that they have a 34-3 lead.
Yeah, it's going to be a mix of both of those. Hopefully more on the precautionary side, especially for Parker McClure.
So Cy Schmaltz back to throw. He fires this side, and the ball is caught. Ball is slightly behind the receiver. Nice adjustment there by Kelvin Mason. And coming up there to stop the forward progress was Cooper Beecher. That'll be a first down play. They'll advance down. That's an 8-yard pass play to Mason. Cy Schmaltz, 207 yards passing last week on 14-22. A couple of touchdowns and an interception in that win over Cactus Shadows. But it was Manny Pena getting the bulk of the work tonight, or the lion's share, as I should say. Ball is thrown behind Mason, and nearly intercepting the football was Mr. Heap. Make it Heath, Trey Heath. We've got a Kyle Heap, a Preston Heap, and a Trey Heath, and that will happen, as I say, once a contest.
And 2 Coopers.
Yeah, you'll get that glare from those silver numbers, which are the most difficult numbers to see in all the football. White shirt with silver numbers. St. Sierra to the line of scrimmage. Dips that shoulder, and there's just not a lot of room to roam. Tyler Brown over there leading the way for Red Mountain.
Great job, a little edge blitz on that time for the Mountain Lions. Caleb Heydrich coming in off the edge there, and Tanner DeMassa ultimately making the tackle in the middle there for Red Mountain.
TD, Mr. DeMassa, the coach's son. Pop's a great coach, been around for a long time. His dad was the head coach at Dobson a number of years ago, in fact. 34-3 our score, 8:48 to go. Schmaltz with an empty set. He's got 5 wide receivers in the contest. Here come the Mountain Lions. Throw over the middle of the field. The ball is caught again by Mason. Correction. That ball's caught just past the sticks. Nice route that time by the Jackrabbits. David Gillis, 5'9", 160. Nice job there. He knew the route. He knew exactly where to be on the sticks, and Schmaltz delivered a strike.
Just sat right down in that zone. Did number 11, David Gillis, the sophomore, and I did a great job hauling that one in. But really nice job by the Mountain Lions as well. 3 guys immediately closing in on the wide receiver.
Absolutely. Nice job of defending right there. It's fun to hear you say 10 or 11. Like, it happens to the best of them, doesn't it?
It does.
It really does from this vantage point here. They go back to St. Sierra. He collects the football. He had to get that ball up to his chest and protect it. Late penalty marker comes in. And I see Red Mountain's champ Jennings down there making a play. And immediately when you see the digit and then the 0, you're like, was that Parker? And you're like, that is not Parker. But Champ Jennings, I'll tell you what, he's got a chance to be a good football player here when he leaves this high school.
Yeah, absolutely. Done a great job here for Red Mountain tonight, and just continues to contribute.
I'd like to complain about the heat up here in the press box right about now.
I wish you would.
It seems like there's been 8 minutes to go in this fourth quarter for about 35, 40 minutes now.
Seriously.
It's 34-3, and it continues to swelter here up in the press box. It's cooled off to a balmy 95 now here at 9:35 at night in the Great State 48 here out in the southwest. St. Sierra gets the handoff, lowers the shoulder again, and he's just driving the pile there. Nice run for St. Sierra. That's his best run of the night. And there's Trey Heath again right there taking the shot and finishing that tackle up.
Tell you who's going to feel that run right there by St. Sierra tomorrow is number 77, Caden Cisneros. He just got St. Sierra's helmet right in the small of his back.
And that is truly insincere. There's no doubt about that. Gain of 6 for St. Cyr.
And offensive line coaches will tell those running backs, hey, listen, if they're in the way, you run them over because they're not supposed to be in the way.
St. Cyr again. Tristan Donnelly right there hanging on for dear life, along with Mr. DeMassa. Boy, I tell you what, Mr. DeMassa might be approaching double digits in tackles here tonight. Either way, congratulations to Parker McClure as he surpassed 200 career tackles here tonight at a big sack. Maybe the hit of the season, maybe the hit of that young man's career here at Red Mountain. Just a thundering jolt in the backfield. 6:29 to go. Schmaltz to the ground game again for St. Sierra. Big hole this time. He tried to spin out of a tackle as he got to that second level. And it was Jennings again with a nice tackle. They're wrapping him up down low.
It all starts in the lower levels here for Red Mountain, Kev. We talk about the ability of this coaching staff to just plug in new guys when someone goes out, and they just continue to produce because they know the terminology, they know the scheme, they know the system. They've been brought up in it.
6:13 to go on this one. We're going to take a timeout, pay a couple of bills. When we come back, more action right here from Mesa High School. You're watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Mesa High School out here in the East Valley. I'm Kevin Derryberry alongside James Poovey. They go back to St. Cyr, running off the left guard this time, running behind the left guard. And if you're Chad DeGrenier, you're just looking around your lineup and you're looking around your football team and saying, I got to take care of these guys. We got to play games next week. And we got a whole season ahead of us. So this Mountain Line team is just, they're as physical as they have been in a while. And they're taking it out on the Jackrabbits here tonight. This is a 9-month layoff after that Castile loss at home by 2. Here comes Atwood and chasing him down in the backfield and give DeMassa another TFL. Atwood Williams had no chance. Speed to the edge, and he's got that. But Tanner DeMassa right there to take his legs out, snuff him for a TFL.
That's where that good pursuit angle comes in, Kevin. You got a really speedy back. You've got to take the right pursuit angle or he is going to blow right by you. And Tanner DeMassa did a great job right there, closing, throwing himself at the ball carrier, and making the stop.
Special shout-out to Nico Garces. Hopefully that young man will get healthy. We'll get him back on the field soon. Nico, we're praying for you, my man. 5:04 to go in this one. Schmaltz with a long count here as he finally gets the play in. 2 wide receivers stacked to the near side. This is St. Cyr again as he's just playing smash mouth football. He's carried the football on every carry here. No Montgomery. We haven't seen him in this quarter at all. They're bell count Craig Montgomery, an all-region performer.
St. Cyr, pretty impressive, Kev. Only a sophomore, and he got the wheels turning right now for the Jackrabbits.
And he's playing fearless, too. No, here comes Montgomery for first time in
Right
quite
on
some
cue.
time. 34-3. 3 touchdowns for Josiah Villanueva tonight. He's got the hat trick here, and he has run with authority tonight.
Absolutely.
The offensive line, Coach Rook's doing a great job. And now we get another whistle here. The clock will stop with 4:11 to go. And let's just step aside. You're watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Mesa High. Kevin Derryberry alongside my guy, James Poovey. You know, rush yards last year, Mesa ran the football a little bit better than Red Mountain. 985 to 740. Granted, it was a COVID-shortened season, but closer than you think. 11 rushing touchdowns for the Jackrabbits, just 10 for the Mountain Lions. And even Mesa outpassed Red Mountain last year, 1780 to 1286. So they've had some success under Chad DeGrenier. .4:11 to go. Here we go. Schmaltz is the signal caller. He's got St. Cyr behind him, the sophomore tailback, having himself a pretty impressive ball game, showing a lot of grit and toughness, running the rock here, right at that stout defensive front for Red Mountain. And they've been nasty. 4th down and 9 from the 15-yard line. Possession play here. Mountain Lions are coming. Schmaltz to the air, and a comeback route, and this one is going to be incomplete. They wanted to go back to Trey Brown, and he lost his footing. Correction, the route was Atwood Williams. Williams lost his footing. The Turf Monster got him, and that's the second time the Turf Monsters got him. They got him on the 25-yard line early in the ball game, and then that time they got him. But the defense, once again, gets the stop, and Coach Enders will be happy about that. He's got second and third teamers out there putting the stop on the Wands of Mesa.
You know, it's great for a coach to have the confidence to know that when a guy goes down or when things aren't going well, if they need to kind of change the pace a little bit on defense or even on offense, but especially on defense in this case of Coach Enders, he's got the guys in his arsenal to do that.
So Crispin was set to drop back to pass, and it looked like he wanted to throw the football here. Oh, we're on to Corona? We're on to Corona. On to Cincinnati. Hey, by the way, here's another revelation here. This kid, Tom Brady, he's pretty good, man. Captain Obvious checking in once again. Crispin back to throw. Before we can get going, another flag comes in. At some point, you'd like to say, all right, let's get this game over with. But these guys this officiating team, they've done a nice job, but they're calling this game like the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with 4 minutes left here in the fourth, Kev, a 31-point deficit.
We take it to the eighth in Los Angeles. Julio Urias pitching a donut, 3-0 Los Angeles. Now the big story is what's going on with the Giants tonight. 4:01 to go. It's Carter Crispin. He's got 2 wide receivers to the right and 2 to the left. And they go up the middle here for, looks like maybe it's Zane Wang right there. And he got helicoptered around on a big stick in the secondary. Indeed, that is Zane Wang. For Dobson, they put one in the win column tonight as they hang 61 on the board as Mekhi Stuber had himself a pretty good ball game with 12 totes, a buckle, 4 and 5 tutties for Mekhi Stuber. We'll see him on the ESN network here down the road here. There's another running play here for Red Mountain. This time they change up tailbacks. Gianni Edwards gets the rock, and he gets the tote, and he carves off 8 yards for Gianni Edwards. Nice job for Gianni. Have a night, young man. Crispin will take the snap back. He goes over to Jacoby Lane, and Jacoby Lane makes a move, and he goes down the sidelines. Goodbye. 30, 20, still on his feet. Push away, 10-5, touchdown Jacoby Lane. 55-yard gallop to the end zone. A bubble screen to the top, and Jacoby Lane tightrope the sideline, broke a tackle, spun out of another tackle, stiff-armed the defender, and then took it into the end zone. Pater pops touchdown, Red Mountain.
Not 1, not 2, but 3 stiff arms on the same play for Jacoby Lane. He hit the Jets. The guy almost had him by the jersey, but he got out of it and then delivered 2 more stiff arms into the end zone.
What are you doing trying to tackle 5 up high? Jacoby Lane with an impressive run. You talk about some rack and yak right there. He got them both, James. He got them both. The kick is up. It's going to be good. He sneaks it just inside that right upright. Boy, he makes that awfully, awfully close. But nonetheless, it's up and it's good. 2:57 remaining on this one. Can you believe it? There's still 2:57 to go. Our new score, the Mountain Lions 41, the Jackrabbits 3, 41 unanswered points tonight for this Red Mountain football team. I'm praying for health for everybody right now.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want these guys to get home safely, and then get well, rest up this weekend, especially Parker McClure and anyone else out there that got banged up here in this one tonight. A great overall win for Red Mountain. Some things to clean up, obviously, but another solid performance here tonight for the Mountain Lions.
Yeah, we're going to have a difficult time determining who the player of the game is. You know, there's a lot of candidates here. McClure was sensational through one half, and he was a highlight reel in his own right. Skylar Edmonds was the second highlight reel of the night. Lennox Lawson pitched in with a highlight reel, 70-yard touchdown run. Josiah Villanueva is making a bid with a hat trick for touchdowns, over 100 on the night. And that run by Jacoby Lane, might as well throw his name in the hat too.
Yeah, there's so many guys out here that could take home that crown tonight. But speaking as a former defensive player, former linebacker and defensive lineman, that's why you get out of bed, Kevin, in the morning to get up and go play football. That's why you get up when it's 105 at 8 a.m. on summer workouts to be there for your football team, to come out here and to lay a stick on somebody like Parker McClure did tonight. He's my player of the game.
Yeah, I won't disagree. I'll probably you know, you're going to have to give it to a couple guys. We're going to have to go one offense and one defense. It's going to go to Josiah Villanueva on offense, and then on defense, he already gave it to McClure. I'm going to give it to Skylar Edmonds. Edmonds, he too, 103 career tackles, another big night for him. He was forceful, ball separation. They forced fumbles, they recovered fumbles, and he had a pick six. So that's a heck of a night, for Skylar Edmonds. Heck of a night for this football team, really.
Yes. It's early in the season, Kev, but I'm just going to say this right now. Defense carries teams a long way in the playoffs.
I thought you were going to give me the old defense wins championships line right there, and I know you're big on that one. So on that last play, let's not forget who made the tackle right there. Up there was Xavier Sanchez. One other thing about Skylar Edmonds, really, really good baseball player too. Two-way stud.
Second baseman, or what does he play? Third base, I think?
He's an outfielder. He's got a hose.
Outfielder.
He's got
okay.
a hose, man. I want to say right field. And he's also, a handsome young man. He's got a lot of things going for him, this Skylar Edmonds. 2-7 we're talking about. Bounce off by St. Cyr, and he gets taken out on the play. Wow, what a tackle there by the Mountain Lions. Give me a second. I'll give you his digits.
4'9".
There you go. Cannon Skidmore. That's Gage's younger brother.
6'2", 170, and only a sophomore.
Boy, he looked like he got shot out of a cannon right there. And
he did.
He just peeled out to make that play.
I love that. Such a great thing of beauty. You keep your outside arm free right there. You wait for the guy to show, and then you just get off the block and go get him.
Yeah, that was awesome. The feel, the touch, and then the spring out and the finish by Skids. Back to St. Cyr again. Moving those feet around out across the 30. Thrown down there by Skidmore once again. Back-to-back tackles for Skids. And how about Gage? His brother played tight end. One of the best play calls and receptions ever was a tight end screen. They weren't even supposed to call that play. They ran it anyway. It was a touchdown by Skidmore, and it was called back. One of my favorite plays last year for this Red Mountain team. Or maybe the year before. We talked about COVID just kills your brain cells. 58 seconds to go. For some odd reason, they stopped the clock momentarily.
This is the longest fourth quarter ever, Kevin. Every other game here in the state of Arizona has concluded. The buses are already parked at the schools, and we're still going.
We're nearly into the 11th day of September here for this one. 35 and counting. Small still call plays out there. Red Mountain getting it done here tonight. St. Cyr off the right side again, and who else is there to make the play? Skidmore one more time. That's 3 in a row.
20 years ago tonight, Monday Night Football, New York Giants, Denver Broncos. Ed McCaffrey breaks his leg the night before September 11th. Career over.
Ooh, Ed McCaffrey, of course, he's the pops of Christian McCaffrey. That's going to do it here from Mesa High School. Our final 5 seconds will count down. We have hit triple zeros finally here in Mesa as the Red Mountain Lions go on the road here, just down the road, and they get it done, and they manhandle the Mesa Jackrabbits tonight by the score of 41-3. They were really, really impressive on all phases of the game, offense and defense, but their defense has only allowed 3 points in 8 quarters of football. Granted, it's down to the Mesa, and a lot of familiarity with these two squads. Certainly back in the East Valley region days, a lot of bullying going on with these two schools. For Red Mountain, they beat Mesa for the 5th consecutive time. They've now beat them 19 times in the 31 games. But what an impressive victory here tonight as this Red Mountain football team puts one in the win column here on the road, James.
Well, the Mesa Jackrabbits, unfortunately for them, are the ones going home with a black eye tonight here after they got walloped by this Red Mountain defense. You mentioned it, Kevin, 3 points allowed in 8 quarters of high school football. That is impressive.
That's pretty good. Coach Anders would say, we mollywomp them tonight, and that's exactly what happened. Well, I guess it's that time of the game, and maybe you like to participate at home, globally speaking. Give us a shout-out on Twitter at KDV Voice. Where were you watching tonight's game from? Give us the hashtag. Where were you watching the game from? What city? We're in the globe for you. But now we like to say, hey, who do you think that player of the game is? We're going to go co-players of the game, and Well, it's a triple dip tonight. It's just one of those special nights because the defense was just so extraordinary in their efforts. Parker McClure over 200 tackles, a big-time forced fumble and a fumble recovery. Edmonds was just dynamic tonight. The entire defense was outstanding. Josiah Villanueva on the offensive side of the ball, 3 rushing touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing. All-around team win. Everybody did their job. Great play calling, great execution. Even the kickers made their kicks tonight. Kai Evans, nice job for you, young man. It was just a great team win on the road.
We need 22 MVP awards tonight is what we need, Kev.
We really do.
This team really played well here tonight. Obviously, Mesa is on the rebuild, as we say. They're coming up. Coach DeGrenier has had success here before. He's got some weapons. We saw him on display here tonight, but once everything comes together in that perfect storm here for the Mesa Jackrabbits, they'll start playing better and get back on the map. But Red Mountain just doing their thing here tonight on the road. Another solid victory. We're on to Corona.
We are on to Corona. Our final score here from Mesa High School on Red Mountain TV, where the Mountain Lions win it 41-3. Perhaps they can start, thinking about some of those rankings. They could give a hoot about that, but it's part of the story. But this is a top 15 football team, no doubt about it. Big win here tonight. Love the tradition that the Jackrabbits display right in front of us. The tradition for the Mountain Lions to go over to their pep band there. Just good stuff. Friday night lights here in Mesa. We've had a treat. It's been our privilege for our outstanding broadcast team and our entire crew. For athletic director Mr. Jason Grantham, our principal Mr. Eagleberger, and for head coach Mike Peterson, and for James Poovey, I'm Kevin Derryberry. Until next time, so long for now, with the Mountain Lions cruise 41-3. Good night.